Mott 8-yard line with 57 seconds left in the contest. What happened next is what makes this a great rivalry.
Two wideouts on the pro set. Postle's set to the near side. Over to the far, I think it's Adam Mountain. And back to pass, all kinds of time. That ball's thrown through the end zone. But wait, I think he's caught it. No, they say he's out of bounds. And they say he's not pushed. I thought he had no chance to catch that one, and what a nice grab. But it's all for now. We got to see this one again.
Yeah, let's take a look at it here, Roy, as you'll see this pass here.
They say the defender did not push the intended target. Let's look at this. Oh, he's in! Well, no, he never caught it. He never caught it. I didn't see the pitch.
He came down inbounds, Roy. If he would have held the ball, it would have been touchdown.
That's why they're paid to officiate, and we're paid to screen. There it is. Second down, a wide pitch, and Morris is going to be knocked down at his own 13.
In there just did an excellent job for the Corsairs. Just pushed him back.
And if that fumble, it does, it will stand. An extremely late fumble, and the Corsairs can't believe it.
The Corsairs have won, Roy, with 44 seconds left. Jeremy Coger now can just take a knee. The Waterford Kettering captains can't stop the clock. Here, let's take a look at it here. Roy be one of our Comcast player of the game. Greg McPherson comes up, strips the ball, and number 63 there for the Corsairs. That's...
I think it's Rich Alsop.
Rich Alsop, who's played kind of sparingly throughout the season with some injuries, probably comes away with his biggest fumble recovery yet.
The Waterford Mott Corsairs, 1-7, take on the Waterford Kettering captains, who are 3-5. Both teams have had disappointing seasons, but a victory tonight will right one of these teams' ship. Let's send it down to the field to Bob Montgomery for his pregame report on tonight's ball game.
Thanks, Brian. Tonight's the 29th meeting between these two ball clubs. The Waterford Mott Corsairs lead this series 17-11. Will we see the dramatic conclusion that we saw in last year's contest? It's a possibility out here. 17 of these battles have been decided by a touchdown or less. The Waterford Kettering captains enter this game riding a 2-game winning streak with victories over Pontiac Central and West Bloomfield. The offense has been clicking for the captains, as Tim Morris has been able to go to Justin Newingham and Adam Mountain, his wide receivers, and Nick Reeser has been a great tight end over here for the captains this year. Dan Barth and Dan Rose, they're starting to run the ball with some authority, and they've got their balanced attack starting to work. Now the game here tonight, some of the wind and the cold is going to affect the passing game for both of these ball clubs out here. On the other side of the ball, so I give the offensive edge to the Waterford Kettering captains here tonight. On the other side of the ball for the Waterford Mott Corsairs, Greg McPherson remembers this game well from last year, as it was his strip on Everett Morris that caused the turnover and the fumble recovery by Rich Alsop to seal the victory over here, a 1-point win last year over at Waterford Mott. This game could be won in the trenches, and I feel that's where the Waterford Mott Corsairs have the advantage here tonight, both offensively and defensively. Walt Wynimpko is extremely proud of his people up front. They've played great all year. I think both of these teams, they're both hungry for a win and want to have something to prove from last year and something to build on for next year. It's going to be a great ball game. Kickoff's just about ready to begin, so let's go take it up to the booth and thank our sponsors for all of our great coverage this year.
Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
Dolly's Pizza. Voted Michigan's best pizza by the Michigan Restaurant Association. Call and order one of Dolly's 7 delicious specialty pizzas, like the Mesquite Grilled Chicken Parmesan Pizza. Get a large round or square pizza for just $9.99. Check your mail for more Dolly's Pizza specials. At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
When you need a mortgage, you need answers. That's why so many consumers are relying on Roy Akers at American Mortgage Services for their home financing needs. Smart shoppers know how much they can afford before they shop, and then get a firm commitment on it. When you need a mortgage, Roy Akers has the answers to your questions. For fast, dependable service from a trained professional, call Roy Akers toll-free today at 1-888-265-7500. Evening and weekend hours are available for your convenience.
All right, welcome everybody to the 1996 Waterford Mott Waterford Kettering football game. I'm Brian Town, and it's a cold night out here. It's going to be our last football game for the broadcast, but it's going to be a great game. It's one of the oldest rivalries around. Last year's game was one of the better games of the year. It came down to the last 37 seconds, where the Mott recovered a fumble down about the 30-yard line and won the game last year. I think this game's going to be one down in the trenches. It's going to be an on-the-ground game. There's no way. I mean, they might throw it in there, but I think it's just too cold. Otherwise, they're going to get interceptions. The ball's going to be tipped off like that. It's a cold night. I'd say it's about 20 degrees out here with a windshield. Probably brings it down around 10. So it's going to be a cold game out here tonight, Bob.
Well, thanks, Brian. And joining us in the broadcast booth tonight is John Schemmel. Our normal play-by-play and the voice of Comcast TV 45 Sports, Roy Akers, is off on a different assignment here tonight. So we'll be bringing you this classic matchup between the Waterford Kettering Captains and the Waterford Mott Corsairs. Aaron Quinn handling the kicking duties for the Captains here tonight. As dropping back deep, we're going to see Greg McPherson along with Jimmy Wagner. And we'll get it set to kick off. It's a deep kick into this wind. McPherson will pick it up at his 10-yard line, fakes the reverse. He'll get it up to about the 18-yard line, where the captain or the Corsairs will start on offense. Vince Mazzari for the Captains in on the tackle. Let's set our starting lineup here tonight for the Waterford Mott Corsairs. Quarterback is Brent Corder. The fullback will be Eric Zisselman. At the running back will be Greg McPherson. The center will be Brian Wargell. At one of the guards is Andy Dillard. At the other guard is Derek Smith. William Lowry is at the other end. Jeremy Phillips is at the other end. And Jason Burgess is the tight end. John Boris and Jimmy Wagner will be the wideouts. Quarterback to pass, and he's got McPherson along the sidelines, and he's got one player to beat, and he's going to be taken out of bounds up here inside the Kettering 43-yard line.
Well, Bob, that was just a simple fade pattern, and the Captains blew the coverage as Mr. McPherson quite possibly could have gone the distance for a touchdown, and he got knocked down out of bounds about the 43-yard line, Bob.
Let's take a look on replay. There was nobody out there. You can see there's nobody covering him. Throws the ball wide open, picks it up just on the sideline. If he didn't get away, number 7 right there, Ryan Jarrett, pushed him out of bounds. If that guy wouldn't have stopped, then he would have been gone all the way.
So we're seeing a change in the backfield. Zisselman and Eric Q. McPherson will be the split out over here to the far side, coming in along over here for the Captains. And it's a pitch, and it's a loose ball, and it looks like the Captains are recovered.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's recovered, yes.
Dan Rose in on the fumble recovery there, John, and cold, wet, well, it's not wet, but a cold football and a deep pitch. That probably set that play up.
Well, Brian alluded to the conditions that these guys are playing in. It's a pretty swift wind out here, gusting pretty strong. It was just a simple pitch out to number 9, Dustin Q, and he mishandled on the pitch.
First play from scrimmage, and this time Adam Mountain lines up in the backfield, and he rips off a huge run of 17 yards to start the Kettering offense.
Enormous holes, and the offensive line is doing a great job. The guards are doing great. They're pushing off the line. It's a cold. They probably wanted to stay warm, but there was a huge hole there. He was absolutely untouched.
Well, let's set this starting offensive line up here for you. Tim Morris, the quarterback. He'll have Dan Barth, Dan Rose in the backfield. And we've already seen Adam Mountain come up in the backfield. This time, Justin Newingham is split out to the near side, and it'll be a give-off over here to Dan Barth this time. He'll pick up 2 on the play.
That time, the Captain's interior line did not get a good push off there. It looked like a little simple off-tackle play to Dan Rose, which got about 2 yards.
Well, let's talk about that starting offensive line. At center, you got Steve Robinette, Ron Ritchie, and Dave McGugan are the guards. Jason Bodmer and Jason Trozen are the ends. And this time, Morris is back to pass on second down, and he had Justin Newingham all alone on the sidelines.
Yeah, he was wide open down there, too. The guy just dropped it. I think it's that. I don't know if that have to do with the cold tonight or not.
I think a lot of that was the wind that we're seeing that northwest wind here tonight.
I think we saw the last play, like you alluded to, that the offensive line got that nice push, and if that doesn't happen tonight, I don't think that there's going to be much going on here. If that offensive line can get off the line and overcome the defensive line, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to make the big plays.
This will bring it down 3rd down and 8 from the Corsair 30-yard line. Morris under center. This time he'll roll out. He's got Nick Reeser left all alone in the end zone. It's a touchdown!
Well, Bob, the passing game for the Captains has just been absolutely on fire the last 2 weeks, and you just saw the big tight end, Nicky Reeser, with a big touchdown. On the last play, Justin Newingham possibly should have had that catch on that last play and that fade pattern.
Well, we've got a yellow hanky down here, but that came late after the touchdown. It was the spike on Nick Reeser. They're going to call unsportsmanlike against the captain, so that's going to back up this extra point attempt, or that might be assessed on the on the kickoff.
Well, Bob, turnovers will kill you, and right now it's put Mott immediately in a hole, down 6-0 so far.
Yeah, you just can't turn over a ball.
Well, you talk about points off of turnovers, and anytime you turn it over, you like to get points off those turnovers.
Anytime you can capitalize on an opponent's mistake, that's a good thing.
Well, this 15-yard mark-off now will set the ball down here at the 25-yard line. This extra point attempt now becomes a 35-yard field goal, guys. And let's see if Aaron Quinn, this will come into the wind.
Strong wind out there.
The kick is up, and it's blocked.
Kick is blocked.
Well, it looks like the Waterford Mott front line there got a great push, and the outside containment on the right side, I think it was number 90 on the play, diving on the ball. I think he possibly could have got a piece of it on that one, Brian.
Well, with 10:43 left in this contest, you're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports. And
we're going to go to the replay here of that last touchdown and see how wide. If you watch a quarterback, he rolls out here. Rolls out, looks downfield. Plenty of time. There was a Mott guy down there, and nobody down there. Nobody on him.
Busted covered as it looked like as he saw Nick Reeser just wide open. He busted loose into that seam for the easy score.
Well, we'll hold it right here. We won't go to this timeout as Aaron Quinn will kick it off back over here. Talked about Dustin Q, Greg McPherson, and Jimmy Wagner will be the deep men for the Mott Corsairs. And, boy, that was an early strike here by the captains. Talked about it, and I thought the passing game, if it's effective for the captains, and it's been clicking lately here, John. He's had Adam Mountain and Justin Newingham, and Nick Reeser has made some great catches here for the tight end. I love to see that tight end pass. This time Q will come up with the kick, and he'll trips, and the Corsairs there will start at about the 24-yard line.
Mott's got to come up with some kind of drive here. I think what they have to do is pick up their heads. They're probably down after that long drive. It was an impressive drive by Kettering. Let's hope this doesn't just assume the game for them. But what they're going to have to do is come up with some smart plays. I would say some high gaining planes, maybe on the ground, stay out of the air, and see if they can push Kettering's defense and get it a little rougher.
Double receivers over here, split out here on the near side. We've got flag before the play, but over here for the Corsairs, let's see.
That's good.
Number 7, that's Dan McCants for the Corsairs.
Well, you saw the Kettering captain's defense jump a little bit early on that play, causing a 5-yard mark off, 1st down and 5. Now, Bob, both these teams both have disappointing seasons thus far, but this is a rivalry, and if you can take this one home, the rest of the season, it's a washout, baby.
Yeah, this is great. This is what Week 9 football should be like. This time, Zisselman will just pound it up the middle, and he'll pick up probably 3-4 on the play. Should bring up 2nd down and about a yard here.
It's another thing, too. This is the last game of the season. Some of these guys, seniors, they might never, ever play another football game again. And what I thought, when I was in high school, you really don't think about that. You really don't think this is the last game. But then you get into college, you're like, oh, man, I wish I was on that football field. And this is what it's all about right here, tonight's game.
Well, what we got over here on the near side, McCanson, McPherson split out here Jimmy Wagner, McCanson Wagner, and they got to get double coverage over here, double corners, of the safety in the corner have got to come over and cover both of these guys.
Yeah, they're just what they're doing basically is they're putting 2 receivers to the near side, just causing the Captains to try to draw another defender, and they're going away from that strength right there, as McPherson picked up the first down in that last play.
Big hole off tackle. They can keep that up. They can just keep getting 5-6 yards down the field. It's going to be a long drive, eat up some clock on there, and maybe Mott will get a touchdown.
1st and 10 from the Corsair 35. Quarter goes back to pass. He's got McPherson out here in the flat. He'll pick up another 4 or 5 on the play.
Just a nice quick slant in by Greg McPherson on a play. Right on that last play, the Kettering Captains brought up all their linebackers up to the line of scrimmage and caused a blitz, but it really didn't matter because it was a quick play.
Let's take a look here. We're going to have a replay on that last play. So you watch, here comes the line. Not much time. You can see the quarterback didn't have much time. The defensive line pushed right up there. You said the linebackers came right up there. He didn't have much time. It's a good, quick play, and that's what they're going to have to do if they want to pass the ball tonight.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 from the Corsair 38-yard line. This time, Quarter will try to pick up what he can. He'll push out the ball out past the 40, out to the 43-yard line. Brian Rush in there on the tackle for the Captains. Rush and J.R. Zapata have been excellent inside linebackers so far for the Captains this season.
And what a key is J.R. Zapata he's a youngster. He's a baby of the group. He's only a sophomore, so there's a lot of good football left for the youngster.
Over the years, you just talking about J.R. Zapata, he's had 7 solo tackles, 56 assists for a total of 63 tackles on the year.
It'll bring up 3rd down. We've got the powerhouse backfield. This time, Dustin Q, this time will pick it up. And he's all alone. He's got 1 man to beat. And in on the tackle there for the Corsairs, number 42. Carlos Medina, he's a sophomore that's been brought up here to this varsity squad this year.
Well, an excellent display of balance by Hugh. I tell you what, reminiscent of a young Barry Sanders on that play.
Yeah, I thought he had his knee down back out here at the Captain's 45-yard line, but somehow he was able to elude that, kept his balance there, John.
But he ran into a little funky Cole Medina on that last play.
1st down and 10 now. Misdirection off tackle, and Zizelman will take it and pound it down for 4 yards on the play. He'll bring up 2nd down and 6 from the Corsair 25. Or the Captain's 25, sorry.
He's bringing up those linebackers again, just jamming them in there right on the guards, just jamming them in. That blocked up the whole center. There's not any room to run right up there, and hopefully they'll see that and maybe run off tackle. It seems like the off tackle's been working for them.
Yeah, they've been coming right up into that gap. See, if we can get a good shot sometime, look how both their tackles angle in.
2nd down and 6, and Corey will be sacked back in the backfield. As he's going to lose 3 on the play, or 4. It'll make it 3rd and 10.
I think what we're seeing there is a little bit of this cold weather, maybe a little bit between the center and the quarterback. I don't know if the center's one is getting real cold or it's the quarterback's hands are getting real cold, but I think that's, we're going to start to see that. We're going to see a lot more
I think a lot of that there, Brian, was just a broken play, too. It looked like the give should have been given off right up there to Dustin Q. 3rd and 10 now from the 29-yard line of the Captains. The Corsairs have the ball. Key play to continue this drive. McPherson, he's alone, and that's a touchdown to McPherson as he's able to get past Adam Mountain on the corner. And we've got a tie ball game.
Just a well-executed play by the quarterback. Again, McPherson on a little fade pattern. Excellent timing pass right there. Just enough hang time for McPherson to go underneath it and grab it.
Well, let's take a look at that, too. Maybe if you can see the linebackers, too. Watch, they just freeze right in their tracks, freeze there. Plenty of time to pass. No problem. He gets in there just in the... And that's a touchdown.
As now the Waterford Mock Corsairs will swing it around and set up for the extra point attempt here by Brian Kath to take the lead. The kick is up, and it's good. And the Waterford Mock Corsairs now with 6:37 left in this first quarter lead this contest
We'll be back. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports.
Statistics show that the average person over a lifetime has 75,302 dreams, 3.8 surprise parties, 563 pairs of socks, and 8.6 different jobs. Is educated by 39.7 teachers, laughs 1.5 million times, finds $8.15 in the sofa, tries 12 different hairstyles, plays 6.4 sports, and owns 3.5 pets. But the average person only has one life, so why mess it up with drugs? A message of 29.3 seconds from a drug-free Navy and Marine Corps.
All right, welcome back, TV 45 Sports. This is Brian Town. We have 6:37 minutes to go in the first quarter. Right now, the score is 6-7. It's been a good ball game. It's been a lot more in the air than we once predicted. I mean, I think everything, the big plays have been all in the air. The 2 touchdowns were both in the air. I thought it was going to be a lot more up-the-nose, hard-nosed football, and that hasn't been the case tonight.
Well, I tell you what, we got a game right here. This is a big old-fashioned rivalry, like we alluded to earlier. We thought it was going to be a ground game, like you said, but so far, big plays has been the name of the game so far.
Brian Kath to handle the kicking duties now for the Corsairs, and that'll go out of bounds, and that'll draw the flag. They're back deep to accept the kick was Tim Morris, the quarterback, and Justin Newingham, and it looks like they're going to, instead of taking this ball at the 35-yard line, John, I think they're going to make Brian Kath move back 5 yards and kick it over.
Smart move, smart move. Let's kick it again and see how far he can get it down there.
Well, he's got the wind at his back, but you kind of, the kicking duty so far for the Waterford Mott Corsairs, Brian Kath, has kind of told me that he doesn't really like to hang them that much on the kickoff. They like to try to more like the pooch type kickoff that they've gone with this season. Now I'd just like to see him get a foot into it and see what happens here.
Yeah, that's what he said. But I think he's got to kick it deep and get it down there so they can play some defense. There's another pooch kick.
This time Morris will take the ball. He's got the wedge formed, and he'll get it out here at a good yardage. He'll pick it out to about the 44-yard line for the Corsairs.
Had a good wedge for him there, but it was nice gang tackle. There's 3-4 Mott players on top of him. That's what you have to do when you're on special teams like that. It was a good job by forming the wedge by the Kettering, but Mott just overtook it.
Well, the Captains start out in excellent field position about the 44-yard line, Bob.
And this is just about, well, they started their first series after the turnover here about the 48-yard line. So excellent field position so far tonight for the Captains.
Well, Kyle Walker carried the ball on that last play. Nice push by the offensive line on that last play.
It's good open field tackle by the linebacker there. That's what you got to do. You got to stand your man up and grab it on. You can't do arm tackles. You got to hit him with your shoulders and hang on with your arms.
Almost a mishandled snap on the play by Timmy Morris, and number 90 comes up to make the stop for the Waterford Mott Corsairs.
You can feel that energy coming off the field. It looks like Mott's really starting to come alive now. I think both teams are really starting to catch on to what's going on tonight. Starting to do a lot more high fives. It'll bump in the heads a little bit.
Yeah, emotion definitely plays a part in this type of a rivalry, Brian.
That's what it's all about. This whole game is about emotion. It comes down to the last game. Like I said, this is it. I mean, this is the last game.
This will bring up 3rd down and 6. The Captains have it at their 48-yard line. Tim Morris under his center. Back to pass out here in the flat is Adam Mountain. And Mountain will stretch it out. And he's going to get a good favorable spot from the near side official. Pick up 1st down on the play. Eric Zisselman out there from the linebacker position will make the stop.
Again, a nice job for Adam Mountain. Just a little tiptoe dance right there to get the extra effort to get the 1st down on the play.
Looks like the outside linebacker kind of misread that. He saw it a little too bit late, and he undercut. And he went past him. He grabbed him by the ankle at the last minute, but I think that's what gave him the extra 2-3 yards that he got down there.
Official timeout down on the field, as I think we'll have a change of ball down here.
Yeah, since this is the last game, also wanted to be thinking about playoffs. Playoffs are coming up, and
unfortunately for the past 3 seasons, before you came over to us here at Comcast, Brian, we've played some games in the postseason. Unfortunately, none of our Comcast teams have any shot at the state playoffs this year, but I'd like to wish the Clarkston Wolves, they're definitely a class
AA powerhouse out here, had a great season, and they're ranked first in their region. And but if they're going to take on, we'll talk a little bit more about that. One of the first games that they might play would be against Detroit Catholic Central or Brother Rice. I can't remember which of those ball clubs it is. Adam Mountain in the backfield that time will pick up 5 yards on the play. He'll drive it down to inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line. It'll be second down and 5 from there.
Take a look at Mott's defensive line. They're really working hard tonight. Number 75, especially just on that last play, John Hicks. He came from behind, and he's really got the speed on there. Fired up, just grabbed that guy and took him down. He probably wouldn't have broke open for any more, but I think he would have got 3 or 4 more yards if it wasn't for the defensive line being on top of things. They're really working hard, and I think they do have an exceptional defensive line.
Well, Bob, right now we got a little delay due to the stoppage of the clock right now. We're having a little problems with the clock right now.
I think it's frozen. Probably as much as the guys that are down here and working this game here tonight. Great job here tonight, guys. It's a cold one, as the captains will have an offensive push in there, as Dan Rose will pick it up and pick up 2, 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and short now for the captains.
Well, you alluded to the fact earlier, Bob. Clarkson's going to either play possibly Detroit Catholic Central or Birmingham Brother Rice. Not a very good way to open up the playoffs.
No, that's some tough competition. And if you're first, you're taking on a 4th in your region, should be a pretty easy contest. I think the Corsairs have held here, guys, as they tried right up off of the center out there, off of Stephen Robinette. And he's going to come up short. This is going to bring up 4th down.
Well, it's 4th down and 2 situation. It looks like they're going to send in the punt team right here. Again, they're down around the, looks like the 37-yard line. I don't know. I think I might want to go for it.
Yeah, I think I'd go for it, too.
Well, here's where I disagree. Well, they are going to go for it here. Yeah. But I disagree with you. I'd like to see them come up. They fake the look of the punt. And I don't think he's got it, guys. I think he's marked inside, just inside, down at the 35-yard line. He had to get past that 35, almost down to the 34. The Corsairs have held.
Wow, big. I think they're going to do a measurement here. I think he got it.
I tend to disagree. I'll bet you that buck. That's here, close. John. I think he's going to come up inches short.
No, I would have gone for that too. I don't disagree with that. I think that's a smart play. That's not too bad a field position. So they are.
This time, I'm still under the firm belief. Take your punter out there and pin them back as far and deep as you can. Make the other team go the 80, 90 yards, 95 yards. And I got that dollar from you there, John. As they come up a foot short, the Corsairs have held.
Now, my only theory behind thinking of that is if he would have punted the ball and it would roll into the end zone, he'd be up in the 20.
Exactly. Now you got 80 yards to go instead. Now the Corsairs will take it over at the 35. They got 65 yards of green to contend with.
I guess it's a good thing I'm not coaching then, right, Bob?
Well, that's the part of putting this headset on. We can all coach from over here. 1st and 10, we got a flag and a stoppage on the play. I think we got jumped by the Corsairs.
Well, I still agree with Coach Berry's decision on that play. It was a 4th and 2 situation. The line has been blocking well thus far, and I can't disagree with what his decision was, but that was a big lift by Mott on that 4th down situation.
This game's a game of emotions, and anytime you talk about a rivalry, it's going to be high emotions. And anytime you can have a turnover downs, a defensive hold, that just pumps you up.
That's
but
one
this
of the biggest.
is a killer, and it's been a killer all season long for the Mott Corsairs and the Kettering Captains, and that's the penalties.
It seems like you could put that, don't jump on the call, know what it is, but
1st and 15 now from the 30-yard line for the Corsairs. Back to pass his quarter, and he overthrows his intended target, Jimmy Wagner, covered down there by Ryan Jarris on the play.
Well, on that last play, they lined up 2 receivers to the far side on that play, and they sent the inside receiver on a little quick slant on the play. Again, Kettering's bringing up their linebackers, and they're continuing to blitz the interior line of Mott.
Second down and 15 now from the 30, and I talked to both of the defensive coordinators out here, and I asked if there was going to be a lot of inside linebacking blitz. Especially talked that over with Mel Patterson, as I thought that's what killed the Captains against the Northern Huskies as they ran that blitz with we got contact.
Yeah, that's
this time. I think drawing offside were the Captains, and they're going to pick up that 5 yards back. It'll be a second down and 10 now from the 35 of the Corsairs.
You can really appreciate how cold it is down here. I don't know if we can see it, but down on the Kettering sideline, you can see those 2 portable heaters down there. We wish probably we had one of them up here.
Yeah, you know what? The Corsairs don't have those.
I don't see them.
I don't think there's power over there to power those up.
I wish there was.
Or the propane. Second down and 10 now. Quarter comes down the line, showing an option. He'll pitch it out here to McPherson. McPherson's alone on the sidelines. He's going to take it into the touchdown, but all the Waterford Mott Corsairs hold the pom-poms. Don't strike up the band because there's a flag on the play.
Well, it's that dreaded yellow hanky, and I think it's coming back with a big hold. A nice job of keeping his balance right there. Pitches it back out to McPherson, and only one man to beat. I think it was Jarvis on that play, on that last play, and he was gone.
Yeah, that's the last absolute minute he could have pitched that ball. He pitched it at the perfect time. That's what you got to do. You either keep the ball when you're going to do that or pitch the ball, and he pitched it at the right time.
Well, this is just one example, Bob, of where a penalty will kill you. Again, so far, it's been a big play, so we didn't expect this here.
And that's going to be a hold. That's going to be marked off from about the 40-yard line. So we're going to go right back to where we were, second down and 15 before the penalty. And boy, talk about shooting yourself in the foot with the Uzi.
That's a letdown.
You know?
That's just a big letdown. The offensive has just got all up for that play, and now it's just, it's nothing. It's like it never happened.
Exactly, and that's what you got to look at. Second and 15, the powerhouse backfield for the Corsairs. This time to give off up here, up the middle to...
No. It was to McPherson.
McPherson.
Well, they're lining up in the wishbone right there, and it's a nice job of faking on the quarterback's part, giving it off to McPherson off tackle.
That'll bring up now third and 12 from the 33-yard line for the Corsairs.
If you look at the defensive line, they have been setting up with that pinch inside. They just pinch down in. I think they...
Yeah, that's when you want to start sending your inside linebackers and filling some of those holes.
You watch them, the defensive line, they'll swim over, do their swim techniques, and they're getting in there, and I think that's what caused that right there, the stop right up in the middle. They're both pinching in.
Movement, and I think the Corsairs jumped a little bit early as Dustin Q came up out of his stance for the Corsairs.
Well, he's giving a nice hard count, it looks like, allowing. I think that's about the second time thus far the Captains have jumped off sides.
Oh, it's going to go against the Captains.
Penalty against the Captains for offside.
So that'll bring up third and 8 now from the Corsair 33-yard line. And this is a little bit better, third and 8 instead of third and 12.
Watch for Kettering to blitz on this play.
McPherson split out over here to the far and dropped deep in the backfield that time. 57, Kyle Walker in there, or Andy Kioski.
Also Andy Kioski in on that.
That was a fantastic play, fantastic.
Well, it looks like they tried to do a draw on the play, it looked like to me.
Yep, and that was just too late setting up.
Watch him just come right through here on the line.
Just a draw that was stuffed right out there. And that was Andy Kioski that made the stop. High snap. The Corsairs will get it off, though. And Adam Mountain and Justin Newingham will let it bounce. And they'll down it at the Captain 30-yard line. That's where we'll take over. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports. I'm Bob Montgomery along with Brian Town and John Schemmel in the broadcast booth. We've got 1:15 left in this contest. We'll be back right after this.
When you need a mortgage, you need answers. That's why so many consumers are relying on Roy Akers at American Mortgage Services for their home financing needs. Smart shoppers know how much they can afford before they shop, and then get a firm commitment on it. When you need a mortgage, Roy Akers has the answers to your questions. For fast, dependable service from a trained professional, call Roy Akers toll-free today at 1-888-265-7500. Evening and weekend hours are available for your convenience.
Well, let's see how the Captains can do on this drive here, and it looks like they're going to open up in an unbalanced line to the right here.
This time a pitch. Adam Mountain into the backfield. He's got a hole that'll open up, and Adam Mountain will pick up good yardage down here to about the 39-yard line, where it'll bring up second down and short for the Captains. Second down and 2.
Looks like number 32, Kyle Walker, was supposed to be the blocking back on that, and Mountain just ran him over, just absolutely ran him over. I think if he would have pushed up a little bit harder and ran down, put his head down, he might have got a few more yards out of that.
Well, this is something that we've seen. Adam Mountain and Newingham both split out here to the near side. Morris out of the shotgun. Morris sees nothing develop. He'll have to scramble and pick up what he can on his own. He'll get back to about the line of scrimmage, pick up a half a yard on the play.
Nice job by McPherson coming up from his cornerback position to tackle him for almost, it looks like 2 yards from the first down.
That's a nice open field tackle. That's one of the hardest tackles to make. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. That's one of the hardest tackles. You really got to break down, and you got to watch, because they can juke you from any way. And you really got to watch and be careful not to make those arm tackles out there in the open field.
Pierce 3rd and inches now. The Captains have the ball with, they won't get this off. That'll be the end of our first quarter. The first quarter score, the Waterford Mock Corsairs 7, the Waterford Kettering Captains 6, and we'll be back right after this.
Anywhere on Waterford School District's property, and we would thank you for cooperating.
Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
Dolly's Pizza, voted Michigan's best pizza by the Michigan Restaurant Association. Call and order one of Dolly's 7 delicious specialty pizzas, like the mesquite grilled chicken parmesan pizza. Get a large round or square pizza for just $9.99. Check your mail for more Dolly's Pizza specials. At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
All right, welcome back. As we were saying before, it's a cold night. We're starting the second quarter.
And Tim Morris will have it under center. He's got 3rd and inches. Morris this time somehow gets a pass out of the pile and picks up huge yardage. He'll take it across the midfield. He'll pound it down to the 48-yard line for the Corsairs.
Well, I'd like to hope we could get a replay on that. He just barely squeaked through a little hole there, Brian, and picked up a big chunk of yardage.
What was that? I thought he was, I mean, you couldn't even see him in there, and I thought he was down or his knee was down, but he obviously wasn't down.
Replay there. We're switching our camera operators down here in our end zone on this play. Tim Morris will go back to. He's got Nick Reeser left all alone down the middle. Reeser gets past Brent Corder, and Nick Reeser's going to take it in for a touchdown.
Fantastic blocking by the offensive line, especially. Well, he had plenty of time out there. The ends were coming around. He turned around.
Whoa. Not a touchdown. Nick Reeser will take it down to the 4-yard line where he's going to get knocked out of bounds.
Well, Bob, another huge play. He got into the seam right there. He was just wide open. He sees the opportunity. Mr. Morris did, caught him for the big gain. Well, with 11 minutes and 30 seconds left, we got a 7-6 score with the Kettering Captains ready to strike here.
Tim Morris now has it 1st and goal from the 4. Late pitch. A great job of accepting that pitch is number 22, Jimmy Wagner, out of the backfield that time.
Well, Dustin Hugh made an excellent open field tackle. I don't think if Mr. Hugh would have got them, I think he was gone for 6, Brian.
No, that's what you got to do. That's smart heads-up football. I mean, that's what the coaches like to see like that. They like to see their players knowing what they're doing. That's not really physical. That's all mental. You really got to break down. You got to watch his eyes. We'll kind of watch at his chest level to see which way he's going to try to juke you out.
Well, Dustin Hughes been a great player out here offensively and defensively for the Captains, sophomore. We're going to have a timeout, and I think Mike Berry will wisely call this timeout as I think Coach Berry wants something to go over that talk about with the official down there. Brian?
All right, Bob, while we take this break, we were talking about the playoffs, and unfortunately, like you said, none of the Comcast teams are in the playoffs, but nevertheless, you can still go watch the playoffs. The Michigan High School Athletic Association wants to remind you that the playoffs will culminate in the Pontiac Silverdome on November 29th and the 30th, with 8 championships being crowned. The finals in classes A, B, C, and D will be played on November 29th, while the title games in classes AA, BB, C, and D will take place on the 30th. Don't miss this opportunity to attend high school football's finest moment. Make plans now to attend this year's championship at the Pontiac Silverdome on November 29th and 30th. A public service message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Comcast Cable.
And there you have it. Tickets are available for those contests. And if you're a fan of high school football, it's nice that it's being played in our backyard. The Waterford Kettering Captains will have it 2nd down and goal on the 4-yard line. Tim Morris now under his center of Robinette. And this time the give off up here to, throwing back behind his intended receiver, Tim Morris, on the rollout. He had me faked out on the play. I thought it was a give off up here right up the middle to Barth.
It was a nice job, a nice bootleg on the play, Brian. All he did is he just faked the handoff, sold it well. Excellent fake on the play, rolled out, and he threw it behind Nick Reeser. Could have had a touchdown.
Yeah, it's too bad. There was plenty of room to throw to him, and he just threw it a little bit behind him. If he threw it ahead of him, maybe lobbed the ball up in the air, he had plenty of room in the back of the end zone to catch that ball.
Now 3rd and goal for the Captains on the 4. Tim Morris will accept the snap, and this time Barth gets it, and he's untouched going into the end zone. The Waterford Kettering Captains now lead this contest 12-6 over the Corsairs. And now do you go for 2, John, or you just kick the extra point attempt?
Just kick the extra point attempt.
I was going to say, don't ask John. He'll tell you to go for 2, probably. Let's take a look at this on replay, this last touchdown. It's kind of the same play. Hands it off, no problem. Quick handoff, gets right in there. He really wasn't running all that fast. There was just nobody around there. He put his head down, had both hands on the ball, which is also smart in cold weather like this, and he went right into the touchdown.
Well, you know what? That bootleg set up that
oh, yeah.
play.
Yeah, sure did.
And they'll go for 2 here as they'll try to stretch this out to a 7-point contest.
A man close to my heart, Bob.
Hey, anytime you get it up by 7, you got a 5-point. I'd rather have a 7-point lead. Morris now will set and pressured and sacked and taken down, that time by number 60 for the Corsairs. That's Jeremy Phillips from his end position.
Well, he just absolutely had no time. It looks like they brought the house and the kitchen sink along with it on that last play. He just had no time in the play.
10:44 left here in this 2nd quarter. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports. I'm Bob Montgomery along with Brian Town and John Schemmel up here in the broadcast booth. It's been a great season here on Comcast TV 45 Sports. I got to thank the athletic director, Dale Cucci, and the people who voted for the bond issue out here at the Waterford School District. It put the lights on this field. It's made a tremendous difference in our broadcast this season over here. Thank you, voters, and hopefully we can use some of that money and get the Waterford Mott Corsair field improved for next year.
It's funny you mention that, because I was just looking at that tape today, and I'm like, Bob, when is this from, 1975? And you said, no, it's from last year. It's at Mott, where the lights are just, I mean, it looks really, really dark.
This time, Aaron Quinn with a high-hanging kick. McPherson will accept it, and he tries to get out along the sidelines, and he'll be taken down that time. Over there is Kyle Walker in on the stop for the Captains, and he'll pick it up down here to 34-yard line.
Well, Bob, you talked about some of the Waterford teams that did not make the playoffs. I tell you what, last week, we'll talk about a Catholic League team. They just got their heart broke, and I tell you what a way to lose by Waterford Our Lady of Lakes. My heart goes out to Mike Boyd out there, Joe Cederling, and Mel News. I mean, God, too bad for those seniors to lose on the last play of a game like that.
Now the Waterford Mott Corsairs will start it out on their 34-yard line. Brent Corder hands off to Dustin Q. Dustin Q will drive it off tackle. This time will pick up perhaps a yard on the play.
I think the offensive line of Mott needs to really push a little bit more because all the defensive line had to do right there was simply drop off their man, drop down to one knee.
The size for the Corsairs, I think that's where they're going to have the advantage coming into this ball game.
You can see right there is Mark Van Walligan, one of our, either that's Mark or Josh, I can't quite
that's
tell.
Josh underneath there.
Because they're so cold they had to cover up with a coat or a blanket.
Matt says if you see some of the cameras shaking out here tonight, it's because the guys are shivering. This time, Zizelman will take it right up off the middle and try to push it up over the guards. He'll pick up another yard on the play, perhaps 2. He'll bring up 3rd down and 7, this time from about the 36-yard line for the Corsairs.
Well, let's see if the Corsairs will do a little quick slant to Mr. McPherson if they swing him out wide or something like that. I think he's the big play man as he has been thus far today.
Well, one of the things that we haven't seen is Jason Burgess, the tight end. This might be a time to go to your tight end. This time coming out here, and Corder will go back to pass, and his intended target that time was Jason Burgess, and Burgess is number 90. Ryan Jarris in there on the stop for the Captains.
That was a good throw by the quarterback, too, because they did send the linebacker in there, and he was right in his face, and I'm surprised he didn't get his hand on the ball. I think he just threw it at the right time because he was right in his face. He sent him up right through the big hole between the guard and the tackle, and he was right in front of the quarterback.
But there, that time, they went to that tight end that I talked about.
Well, Bob, right now he's going to be punting into the wind. Let's see how he does.
Oh, and this is one that's going to go off the side of his foot. This is going to be a 6-yard punt for the Waterford Mott Corsairs, and that's the problem of punting that ball into the wind. You got to kick that ball low and line drive it. He got it hung up that time off the side of his foot, John.
Well, Kettering opens up an outstanding field position. Looks like at about the 41-yard line. You can't do nothing about that stiff wind. It's been gusting pretty strong all day long today.
And the Captains will have that wind at their back with 9:07 left here in the second quarter. Tim Morris now has the ball. He'll give it off here to Adam Mountain, and we've got 2 hankies coming in here. That one came back. The first flag came back deep back here in the backfield. We'll let our officials set it.
Well, it looks like a block below the waist on Waterford Kettering on that one, and possibly a hold on the play also.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I saw the guard come down. It was 2 guys on one, and I think one of them held him. And I think the guard came down on behind him because he just crumpled over backwards. And it was a hell of a block, but you can't hold, and you sure as can't block down the back.
Well,
we'll let our officials decide. I think we'll probably mark it off 15 yards here from the spot.
Nope.
And that is a 15-yard penalty against the Captains. So they'll bring up 1st down and 25. That'll take them across the midfield stripe. It'll push them down to the 44-yard line of the Captains. Adam Mountain and Justin Newingham split out over here. Coming in motion and coming to the near side is Dan Rose. And that time, Tim Morris has all kinds of pressure. And Jeremy Phillips in there on the tackle for the Corsairs brought down Morris.
Well, Jeremy Phillips, excellent job of filling from his defensive end position there.
Let's take a look at that on replay. He's got no room to run. It's all white in front of him. He just gets clobbered there.
That's just what you call a good coverage sack there. That time as Morris had nobody to go to. 2nd down and 27 as Morris will lose 2 yards on the play. Give off up the middle up here to Dan Rose. He'll pick up Corder on the tackle, but Rose will pick up 5 on the play. He'll bring up 2nd down, 7-yard gain. 2nd down and our 3rd and 20 now. From just across the midfield stripe, it'll be at the 49-yard line for the Corsairs.
Here's what we're seeing as a perfect example of how penalties can hurt you so bad.
Morris this time out of the shotgun. Morris has an intended target down there as Adam Mountain, and it's intercepted by the Corsairs.
But there's a flag on the field, Bob. Let's see who this could go against.
On the interception, Adam Mount on the
I don't know if that was Quarter that intercepted that ball.
illegal procedure against Kettering, probably declined.
That's going to be declined. Illegal procedure was a call against the Waterford Kettering captains. That will be declined, and Mott will take over.
It's just terrible. That's what penalty said. What would you say? It was an 8-yard punt.
Well, yeah, that 1st and 25 killed him.
Here's the interception right here. Takes over right in his hands. He just reached out, grabbed it out of the air. Not a very good throw.
Well, it looked like he was trying to go to Adam Mountain, but Adam Mountain was just surrounded by a sea of white on that play.
Number 7, that was Dan McCants that intercepted that ball for the Corsairs. Now the Corsairs will take over on their own 40 or 38-yard line, and we've got flag on the play, a little fade pattern out here to McPherson.
Intended for McPherson.
And we've got motion called against the Corsairs.
And Medina.
As cold as it is, Bob, you can still see there's a lot of people out here tonight. Even on the Mott side, the Kettering side is full. The Mott side is full. There's people sitting on the lawn. The bleachers are all full. It's a good game. You can see how big of a game it is, even as the cold weather strikes down upon us here in Waterford.
5 yards.
Well, at one time, Waterford Township hosted 3 high schools. It's down now between Kettering and Mott, and this is kind of what divides the township here. 1st down and 15 now. The Corsairs will have the ball at about their 33-yard line. Quarter this time with a nice little slant into McPherson here. He'll pick up 7, 8 on the play, and he'll get it up to the 43-yard line of the Corsairs, where it'll make it now 3rd and perhaps 6 on the play.
It was a good call about the right time, too. There's a wide open about 10 yards in there.
About 5 yards to go for the
Well, so far today, Brett Quarter, as we take a look at it, Brett Quarter, nice slant in by McPherson. Nobody's covering. It looks like they gave out about 7 yards. A nice job of gang tackling the play by the captains. So far today, Brett Quarter, 4 of 6 for 77 yards.
Excellent passing here by Brent Quarter so far in this contest. His receivers have been McPherson. This time, late pitch and an option look. McPherson will come out of his backfield and pick up the 1st down for the Corsairs as he'll drive it over the midfield stripe and take it down to the 48-yard line for the captains.
Both linebackers came up on that, too, but I don't think they came up in the right place. They came up a little bit behind him. By the time they got up in there through that line, before they got up in there in the 2 line, he was gone around the outside. That's going to be
Corsairs.
1st down. Here's the replay. Take a look at the replay. Here's the linebackers back behind him. They didn't get up there in time, and he's a little bit too fast, and that's how he was able to get up inside. Something draw the linebackers up in there.
And also a nice job of the fullback blocking on the play.
1st and 10 now. The Corsairs have it over the captains at the 48-yard line. And it'll be Eric Zisselman, the senior captain for the Corsairs. He'll pound it down here for 3 yards on the play.
This is what originally I thought this is what this game was going to go like. Hard, go outside, punch it inside.
Go smash mouth football.
Yeah, that's what we're assuming it was going to be. What they're doing now is they're punching it inside, then they're opening up, they're drawing the linebackers in, and then they punch it back right at them.
5:55 left here in this 1st half. The Corsairs now have it 2nd down and 7 from the 45-yard line. Quarter will keep it this time. He'll stretch it out. He'll try to pick up the 1st down. And I think he's going to be just a little bit short as he picked up 6.5 on the play. He'll come up a half a yard short on the 1st down.
Well, right now they're starting to move those chains slowly and surely, as you have alluded to earlier. The line's starting to get a good push, and these guys are starting to move the ball slowly down the field.
And they're eating that clock up, too.
Quarter so far, three carries tonight for 9 yards. 3rd and short, the Corsairs, and we've got movement in the Corsair offensive line, and ouch, you shot yourself in the foot again.
That's what's been happening.
Well, when you get a 3rd and 1 sort of situation and moves it back to a 3rd and 6, it just totally changes your play call here on 3rd down and long.
Yeah, these penalties destroyed both teams at both ends, and I think, that's the way it's been going tonight, and it's unfortunate that a play like this, that doesn't have to happen. It does move him back. It's a different yard. I mean, third and short is a lot different than the third and long.
Well, let's see if they go to like a little quick slant or possibly use a tight end, Bob.
Yeah, either McPherson or Burgess this time, maybe from the tight end or McPherson in on the slant. There you have it. Motion against the Corsairs.
Third down for the Corsairs.
3rd and 6 now from the 44-yard line of the Captains. The Corsairs come out. Under center is Brent Quarter. And looking for that little slant into the tight end.
There it was.
Incomplete.
Just a little
intended for Jason Burgess.
Just a little tight end quickie to Burgess, as we thought they'd go to the tight end, but I think he might end up about a yard short of the first down regardless if he would have caught the ball.
Well, with 4:49 left here in this first half of football, they're going to send out the punt team. Back to punt for the Captains is Barnes.
Punting for the Corsairs.
You remember his last punt went all of 6 yards. This time he'll try to get a better foot in it, and he does. Gets the punt away, and Adam Mountain and Newingham, great punt, drives them all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Well, I think he's back out of the coach's doghouse out of that last point. I just plugs him down by the 2-yard line, and I tell you what, there's a lot of real estate for the Captains to drive 98 yards possibly. Hey, the Corsairs could come up with a big play.
And the way that ball was bouncing there, guys, great job by Newingham and Mountain to get away from it. They could have downed it up here about the 10-yard line, but at any time, that's why that ball's oblong and it's got points on it.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, too. They're all the way down there. This could be the change right here. We'll see what Kettering comes up with.
Morris now will have Rose and Barth in the backfield. This time, give off up here to Dan Rose. He'll pound it out here for a huge yardage out here about the 15-yard line of the Captains. Jay Bay's in on the tackle for the Corsairs.
That was a great run. Just kept his head down, and that's a good thing that they're going to have to do.
And you know what it does? It gets them out of that 2-yard line goal area. It gives them a little breathing room.
They're safe, a lot safer than they were.
Nice
Morris
right
now, this time, handoff up here inside the middle goes to, I believe, Rose on the play.
Dan Rose on the carry.
Dan Rose will pick up
Gordon Hicks on the tackle.
7, and John Hicks in on the tackle for the Corsairs.
Second down.
Second down and 3 as Rose picks up 7 on the play.
They keep on punching it up the middle there. I think that's what's going to work if they can get out. They got out of the hole. Now what do they go to? They go to the flat?
Newingham, the lone receiver, split out here to the near side of the field. And this time, Dan Rose will get it into the backfield. Again, he'll have first down yardage as he pounds it out here down to the 27-yard line of the Captains.
If you just watch Rose, when he goes, watch his feet. Those feet never move. They're constantly up and down, and that's what you got to do to keep, no matter how many people on him, his feet are going 110, 100 miles an hour, and he just keeps moving down the field.
Keep
you can't
that
stop
leg
him.
drive going.
And he's got a good hold on the ball, and that's what you need to do, especially in cold weather like this.
3:35 left here in this first half of action. The Waterford Kettering Captains lead at 12-7. Newingham this time gets it out into the flat. Newingham's got a corner that he's beaten. Newingham is alone on the sidelines, and he's cutting in for a touchdown. Justin Newingham lights up the scoreboard from 36 yards out.
72-yard touchdown pass for Newingham. Another big play makes the score 18-7 for the Captains.
When I first saw him out there stranded all alone, all I saw was white around him.
And I'm not sure of the corner that he beat out there for the Corsairs.
You can see this on replay. Watch. There's white all around him, but all of a sudden he jukes, missed tackle, bad open field tackle, and then his speed just picks up and he's gone.
You know,
these 4 or 5 players had no chance of getting him.
That was one of the sophomores, Dan McCants, that they brought up, the Corsairs did, that Justin Newingham beat on that play.
I thought he was out of bounds on that play.
I thought when he was...
They'll go for two here. This time, Rose has it left all alone over here in the corner. And an excellent pass by Tim Morris puts the Kettering Captains up top 20-7 over the Corsairs. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports. We'll be back right after this.
Just a pick play. That was a pick play.
Statistics show that the average person over a lifetime has 75,302 dreams, 3.8 surprise parties, 563 pairs of socks, and 8.6 different jobs. Is educated by 39.7 teachers, laughs 1.5 million times, finds $8.15 in the sofa, tries 12 different hairstyles, plays 6.4 sports, and owns 3.5 pets. But the average person only has one life, so why mess it up with drugs? A message of 29.3 seconds from a drug-free Navy and Marine Corps.
Well, we're back here in Waterford Kettering. They just scored and opened up this game with 20-7 with 3:18 left here in the first half, Bob.
Aaron Quinn this time with the wind at his back, gets a foot into it, and he's going for the field goal. It'll come up just short, but it'll be a touchback. And that time, with the wind at your back, you see the fans, they're all bundled up against this wind.
I think everybody's bundled up down there. We're not.
Lambeau Field here in the frozen tundra.
Now, don't anybody think since we're up here in the press box that it's warm up here because it's not warm up
Well,
here,
Brian, I'll tell you, talking about the playoffs, we went into the state semifinals last year. Pontiac Central was in the state semifinals. We were third week of November in the snow broadcasting last week. So it's not quite as cold as that contest, but it's a cold one out there. Brett Corder this time has Burgess out, and it's a fumble, and the Captains have recovered.
Another huge turnover. The Captains have got
a big defensive stud for the Captains. Ryan Jarrett stripped the ball from Burgess.
Right at the 24-yard line, and they could possibly go up 27-7 at halftime with 3:10 left in the game.
That's just amazing, and that's so frustrating. Both teams. I mean, that's just one of the most frustrating things. Here you are, just made a big play, and all of a sudden the ball's down, and it's no use again.
I think Walton Lenko is going to be pulling out his hair after that play right there.
Well, you know, he's tried to go to his tight end. Timeout. The Waterford Kettering Captains will call a timeout here. Walt Wynipko, he's tried to go to McPherson, his tight end Burgess, and that time, I think it's just the cold weather that time. That's going to cause the old pigskin to become slick. But Ryan Jarrett, he's been a defensive MVP player out here for the Captains all season, came up and stripped the football.
That ball, when it gets cold like this, it's like playing with a frozen rock.
Well, I don't know. I'll ask our director here. Let's go back. I think we were holding that touchdown by Justin Newingham. Let's take a look at that, Matt, down in the truck.
Well, I think he was out of bounds right here. We were arguing about this a little bit earlier during the break. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, he's that man. That's so close. It looks like that right foot stepped on.
I don't think so, guys. I don't think so.
I don't know. I think I might lay another frosty cold on that one. I think the Captains got a break there.
Well, either way, it's in the books. The Captains lead at 20-7 over the Corsairs after coming out of this timeout and this turnover. Turnover downs. We talked about turnovers and points off of turnovers. The Captains opened this contest in the first quarter by scoring 6. This time, Newingham has beaten McCants again on the corner. Newingham with some shake and bake takes it down to the 8-yard line where it'll be first and goal at the 8.
Nice job by Newingham to come back towards the ball. That's exactly what you got to do. I mean, he saw, some high school players won't do that. They just assume the ball's got to come to them, but it does not work that way. You got to stop, look where the ball is, and come back to it and grab it, and then juke his man, and that's perfect. That's a perfect play by Ryan Newingham.
First and goal from the 8-yard line. The Captains have it. With 2:47 left in the contest, or in this, not the contest, in the first half.
So far, Newingham's been a big play guy for the Captains. 2 receptions, 88 yards.
Morris this time on the bootleg's going to take it in, and the Captains are starting to blow away and take control of this ball game here as Tim Morris will take it from 8 yards out. 26-7, 2:32 left here in the first half.
I think what Mott has to do is realize here, 26 26-7 is, it's a big lead. It's a big lead, but it's not the end.
It's not insurmountable. Let's take a look at the replay here. You see Timmy Morris on a nice roll out there, a nice bootleg. No, he goes in untouched.
You couldn't really see it on that last shot there, but it was a nice block down there. I don't know who it was. A nice block at the last minute. There's probably 5 more yards, laid a hard block on him. Might not have stopped him, but still, that's a good block.
Aaron Quinn this time gets a foot into it. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 2:32 here left in the first half, the Waterford Kettering Captains lead this contest 27-7. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports.
A child's picture of the holidays shouldn't include lung disease, yet lung disease and breathing problems are the #1 killer of infants. And over 4 million children live with the threat of asthma attacks. But the American Lung Association is helping these children to become their own pictures of good health all year round. So help fight lung disease. Support this year's Christmas Seal campaign from the American Lung Association, because when you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
Kids are bombarded with information these days, and it's up to us to give them the skills to process it all. Now let's talk about this. Cable in the classroom is a powerful tool. More than 30 cable networks design programs specifically for the classroom.
Just set the timer to record.
And it's free. No commercials, no viewing requirements. You'll research a region and there's a monthly magazine with everything I need to know to make it work. Distinguished representatives, what say you? Cable is giving us a fantastic educational tool. It's up to us to use it.
All right, welcome back to Comcast TV 45 Sports. As you can see, the score right now is 27-7 in favor of Kettering. Like we were saying before, I know that sounds like a big lead. 20 points is a lot to come down from, but I don't think it's impossible, especially as big a game as this. I don't think Mott's going to lower their heads yet. I think what they do is they need to suck it up, go into halftime, talk about it, and come up fired up, and it's not over yet, I don't think.
Well, the last time that Aaron Quinn was going for the field goal attempt, this time he gets it a high hanger, and McPherson at the 1-yard line will run it out, and he'll get it out past the 20-yard line, but we've got that old yellow laundry down on the field.
There's been a lot of that tonight thus far, and it looks like a clip on the play against the MOTT Corsairs.
So that'll back up the Corsairs even deeper to start this drive. Penalties on the night. We'll try to get those for you.
I've really been hurt by him, though. Mott's really been hurt by those penalties. Seems like every penalty they've turned over.
And they brought back that touchdown by McPherson earlier.
And that could have been it. They Mott got a touchdown, could have picked their heads up. It could have been 27.
That was a big key in this contest.
There you go, Bob. That probably might have been the turning point so far here in the first half.
Clipping, penalty.
Clipping, so now the Corsairs will start at their own 11-yard line. And with 2:26, I think they need to pick up a first down here, John. Try to run out this clock in the first half here and go in at halftime and see what adjustments they can make. The senior captain, Eric Zisselman, will carry the ball. He'll pick up perhaps 6 on the play. Oh, more than that. Just about 6. Bring up 2nd down and 4. Brian Rush in on the tackle for the Captains.
Well, Bob, 2 minutes and counting. Let's see if MOTT Corsairs want to run it out the clock or possibly go up in the air here.
Quarterback to pass. He's got, this time, Burgess. Burgess hangs on to the ball. He's got enough for the first down. Move the chains.
But, Bob, another flag. Another flag.
I was just going to say, but.
Unfortunate for Mott, it's against them. Well, let's take a look at the replay on this one. Nice rollout. And the tight end, nice job of catching the ball. Good job of concentration brought down, but it was all for naught.
That time you see Jason Burgess ramp up that ball with 2 arms and get 2 arms wrapped up around that ball.
It's a good thing you did, because Tim Morris for Kettering really laid a lick on him. Nice low tackle there.
1:43 left here in the first half of action. Don't go away at halftime. We'll have all the halftime festivities here for you as the Waterford Kettering Captain Marching Band will take the field. And I'm not sure if the Mott Corsair Marching Band will also take the field at the halftime, but we'll have all that action for you.
Well, that's going to send, looks like it's going to send them down around the five-yard line here with that penalty. That'll make it down to a 2nd and 14 call.
They're going to have to hang on to the ball down there because all they're going to have to do is drop the ball, and Kettering's going to go in for another score. And I think after that, it'd be out of reach.
Well, 2nd down and 15 now at the 7-yard line. Deep handoff this time in the backfield to McPherson. McPherson will try to stretch it out. He'll try to get it out. He'll lose a yard on the play. Timeout by the Captains as they'll bring up 3rd down and 16 now from the 5-yard line.
Well, they tried to fool him on that draw play, but it was didn't fool too many people.
A little late developing.
Yeah.
And I think that's their 3rd and final timeout here by the Captains.
Well, the Waterford Mott Corsairs, they're not going to give up, not in a rivalry like this. They're going to be very dogged the whole way through, and by any means, this game is not over at a 27-7 score. I mean, the fat lady, I haven't seen her show up yet.
No, she hasn't. I don't know if she will. It might be a little too cold for her to come out here. But they're going to have to pick their heads up, and they cannot give up on this, and it won't be over. Somebody's going to have to go in there and really give them a good talking and a little slapping in the locker room. And that's what I know. That's what you're going to have to do is pick this team up.
Well, I'm sure Mel Patterson and Walt Lemenko have already planned out their little halftime chit-chat.
It's going to be a little more than a chit-chat.
I think they're going to come out like a house of fire.
Yeah.
And they're going to
have to
make a game out of this one. Well, it's going to be a 3rd down and 15 here for the Mott Corsairs with 1:30 left. As you see some of the captains out there trying to warm up in this nice, beautiful weather out here at Waterford Kettering Stadium.
Well, the house at Bender here.
15 yards to go for the 1st down.
Here we go. It looks like they're going to go off tackle to McPherson. He's got one man to beat, but he only picks up possibly one on the play, Brian.
Yeah, I don't even know if he picked up that. Now they're probably still at the 5-yard line. So, I mean, absolutely. They're going to have to bring out their punting team. They don't have a choice.
Well, he's got a minute left in the game.
This is big, guys. Okay. Now, you remember his last punt went for decent, pinned him all the way back down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
But you remember the first punt he had into the wind, and now he's going to be back just right. He's worried about the line back there. That first punt went for 6 yards into this wind.
I think he'll kick it away here.
You know what
I'd do?
I'd take a safety right here. This is what I'd do. I'd take the safety, I'd take the 2 points, and then get the free kick out here at the 35-yard line. But he got it off, and he'll float one out here. The Corsairs got to jump on it. They will. He'll get it out here to about the 29-yard line for the Captains. But with 32 seconds left here, the Captains have the ball.
Well, let's see, Brian, if they're going to do a fade pattern to the man right now, Justin Newingham. I like to see it. It's been working so far. Let's see if Morris is going to go back to the man.
And Newingham on the night, you said he had about 88 yards tonight. That's going to bring his total up to 488 yards.
Three excellent receivers so far this year for the Captains. Newingham, Mountain, and Nick Reeser. Talked about it in the pregame. Morris this time has Justin Newingham, and a great job of the safety. That time, Brent Corder coming over and knocking the ball out of bounds.
Nice job by the safety rolling over. If we can get a look on this at replay, possibly, hopefully. Okay,
yeah, we do have
it.
Look at it. Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Nice pump fake there. He just does a little up and out, basically moving. A nice job by the safety rolling over to bat the ball away.
2nd down and 10 now from the 26-yard line. Or the 29-yard line. Morris this time out of the shotgun has Nick Reeser, but intercepted by Brent Corder. Corder's got some territory. Corder will take it out here to the 36-yard line for the Corsairs.
That's good for Mott, too, because if Kettering would have scored there, I think that might have been
Nick
it.
Reeser was left alone. He had his arm waving. He had his arm pumping.
Now, it seemed like Reeser, though, what he was doing after the ball was thrown, he was still kind of waving his arm. I don't know if he was trying to direct the ball towards him or what. What he should have done is maybe stopped and turned around and come more towards the ball.
Come back towards the ball.
Well, 13 seconds left here in the first half with our score 27-7. Fellas, what do you do if you're the Mott Corsairs? Do you take a knee or do you go for the 6?
Oh, no, go for the 6.
Well, there you see a nice shot of the scoreboard on this lovely night here in Waterford.
I'll tell you, this field is in great shape for being November 1st out here. Excellent field out here at the Captain's. Not showing a whole lot of signs of wear and tear this year.
It's a great field, but I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see from the cameras, but if you can kind of look out there in the center of the field, it is kind of rounded. And also, what's at the center of the field, about the 50-yard line, there's an M, an O, and 2 T's, which spells Mott, of course. And somebody spray painted not only Mott there, but on the bottom of the press box and on the side of the press box.
That's all part of this.
Good kids.
Yeah, the kids get into this contest.
Yeah.
But you hate when they see the spray painted damage that they did over here. This time sacked by the Captains. Brian Rush in on the sack for the Captains.
Looks like McGugan also got in there for the sack as well.
For the
and Kioski.
And that'll do it. That'll end our first half. The Waterford Kettering Captains lead it 27-7 over the Mott Corsairs.
Looks like they're going to have 7 seconds left, Bob. It looks like Mott called a timeout before the time ran out.
Okay, well, we'll don't go away. Hold that soda. You're going to see one final play before we go to that half. We'll have some commercial breaks at the half. We're going to come back, and we'll have all the halftime festivities out here. We'll have some frozen tuba players out here on the field for you, and we'll see how loud they can pound the drums at halftime.
Well, 7 seconds left. Let's see if a little Hail Mary pass will come into play here for Brett Cordier and the Mott Corsairs. Well, I hope all the kids had a nice Halloween this past weekend here. I'm sure they got their nice little candy. Watching this game on Monday night. I know, I saw Brian out there trick-or-treating earlier.
I was dressed up in my bunny costume again this year. That's my favorite costume, of course.
One final play left here in this first half, and this time a little give off to Zizzleman. Zizzleman gets tied up and throws the ball out here to but that draws the flag, and this is going to be against the Corsairs. A flag can't, or a penalty can't. That'll do it. Penalty decline. The Captains go in at halftime leading this contest 27-7. We'll be back right after this with all the halftime festivities. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports.
Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
Dolly's Pizza. Voted Michigan's best pizza by the Michigan Restaurant Association. Call and order one of Dolly's 7 delicious specialty pizzas, like the Mesquite Grilled Chicken Parmesan Pizza. Get a large round or square pizza for just $9.99. Check your mail for more Dolly's Pizza specials. At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
The ladies and I used to sit around and play cards, knit, and watch the soaps. We made quite a team. Then one day, Helen heard about strength training. She got a free fact sheet just by calling 1-800-222-2225. We found lifting weights builds muscles and bones. It improves our balance, too. So now when we get together, we exercise. It really gives us a lift. Give yourself a lift. Call for a free fact sheet.
Well, welcome back to Comcast TV 45 Sports. I'm Bob Montgomery, along with Brian Town and John Schemmel in a frigid broadcast booth. As we are about to prepare here for the second half, the Waterford Kettering Captains lead at 27-7 over the visiting Waterford MOTT Corsairs. John, you got some halftime stats there for us.
Bob, what are you talking about? It's a balmy 32. Okay, we're going to go over some of the halftime stats here. For the visiting MOTT Corsairs, who is currently down 27-7, leading rushers is Mr. Q with 4 rushes for 20 yards, an average of 5 yards a carry. Sizzleman, 6 carries for 18 yards. McPherson, 5 for 15. Passing for MOTT, Cordier, 6 for 9, 92 yards with 1 touchdown pass. McPherson, the leading receiver, 4 catches for 80 yards, including that 38-yard touchdown grab. Looking at the captains, the leading rusher for the captains is Rose, 4 attempts for 33 yards. Mountain, 2 carries, 28 yards, and Morris, 5 for 21. Morris on the day having a huge game. 5 for 10 for 170 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 interceptions. With Reeser receiving 2 for 74 and Justin Newingham 2 for 88.
Well, out of that 88, John, you got to remember one of those was a 73-yard touchdown pass that he completed. One of the stats that really kind of stuck out here, total net yards, 151 for the Corsairs, 270 for the captains, but average per play, the captains are almost picking up 9.3 yards per play here. That's almost a first down every time you touch the football.
And look at the another key stat here, time of possession. I mean, MOTT is dominating almost a 2-1 margin over the captains with almost 16 minutes for the MOTT Corsairs, and yet the score is 27-7.
Penalties, the penalties have hurt the Corsairs. 7 for 31 yards. The captains have 4 for 10 yards.
Let's take a look at the recap of the scoring for today's game. So far, Waterford Kettering opened it up with 10 minutes and 43 seconds into the contest. Nick Reeser, the recipient of a 30-yard pass from Morris. Then Waterford Mott came back as McPherson had a 28-yard touchdown pass from Corder. Then Barth had a 4-yard touchdown run. Newingham came back with a 73-yard touchdown pass from Morris. And then closing out things was Morris with a 9-yard run.
I think what the key here is not only do we have the penalties for 30, was it 30 yards?
Yeah, it was 7 penalties for about 30 yards.
That's not the key. At 30, that sounds, well, that's not too bad, right? But what it was every time there was a penalty, there was a score.
Well, I think that was the big key here that turned this ball game around. Remember, Greg McPherson ran it in from, I believe it was about 65 yards out, took it in for an apparent touchdown. That came back. And after that, that's when the captains took the lead here at 12-7 after that turnover.
Using an old adage, it's like the pendulum has swung into the favor of the captains ever since then. Like you said, that was the turning point thus far, and has just opened up to a game of 27-7.
So, Bob, what's Mott got to do? What's Mott got to do besides pick it up, play hard-nosed football? What do they got to do to win this football game?
Defensively, they're going to have to have some turnovers here. And they'll go on defense to start this contest as Brian Kath will kick it back out here to Tim Morris. Tim Morris has got the wedge formed up the middle. Tim Morris picks up good yardage. He'll drive it out over here to the 37-yard line for the captains. Jeremy Phillips in on the tackle for the Corsairs.
Mott's going to have to watch also, like we said, their penalties. They're going to have to be careful during this game and not to let the big penalties come up.
Watch this. I think this first series here will dictate how this second half takes place here. The Corsairs need a 3-and-out here to start this second half. Coming up under his center, Tim Morris. Morris will pitch it out here to Mountain. Mountain takes out wide to the side of the field, and Mountain will pick up good yardage. He'll pick up 7 on the play here. And McCants will have the tackle for the Corsairs.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the proverbial head right there when you said this is the key possession for Mott. If Mott can stick them, they can get a little momentum on their side. Possibly the momentum will swing on Mott's favor.
2nd down and 3 from the captain's 45-yard line. A deep handoff this time into the backfield. I think that's Joe Morris this time for on the carry. Or Dan Barth on the carry that time. McPherson in there on the tackle, but it's enough for a captain first down. He'll drive it up over here to the midfield stripe, and it'll move it at the 49-yard line of the Corsairs.
One of these players who is fired up for the Mott Corsairs. Let's take a look at Eric Zisserman, some of these plays. First play down, he smashed that fullback down.
He's the senior captain. He doesn't have his
fantastic job.
Brother Ricky. This time coming in on the blitz this time is for the Corsairs. Blitzing in on the play was Eric Zisselman that time. Q will drive it, or Q gets in on the tackle.
There we see Zisselman again. Like I said at the beginning, the first play, knocked the fullback down hard, almost got the tackle. Second play was in on the tackle. Third play was also in on the tackle. He's fired up. Something got to him in that locker room.
His motor's definitely in overdrive right here.
A pickup of 2 for the captains as they'll have it now. 2nd down and 7 from the Corsair 47-yard line. This time a give off up here to Rose. Dan Rose this time will drive it down to the 43-yard line of the Bays and Burgess in on the tackle for the Corsairs.
Well, it looks like the Kettering captains, their big line is starting to move in here, and it's a 3rd and 4 situation here, Bob. Do you keep it on the ground?
I think absolutely. So far, the line has come out and have blocked extremely well here to start the drive here in the second half. This time, Morris, though, sees Newingham out here in the flat along the near side, and Justin will try to stretch it out here enough for the first down. And I don't know where we got that spot here as we're crowded along the sidelines over here by the Kettering captain players. But Mike Berry's over there, and he's trying to get a good spot. I think he's going to come up just short.
Well, Bob, it's going to be very close. As me and Brian were shaking our heads here at the sideline, it's going to be a very close measurement. Are they going to go for it here? I think I would.
Yeah, I think you almost have to. Big lead. There's not much to lose here. They might as well go for it. Set up, probably go off right up over top of the guard.
This time the give off to Dan Barth. Barth's got enough for the first down as the far near side official give him the first down. And the Captains will keep this drive alive. And they have it at the Corsair 44-yard line now. Or check that, Corsair at the 39-yard line for the Corsairs.
Well, it doesn't look like so far it's going Mott's way. Kettering's really pounding on hard. They're not letting up any. They're putting their helmet down and run it right up over the middle.
Well, I think this is where the Corsairs are going to now have to step it up here on this series of 3. As Adam Mountain this time gets the pitch back deep in the backfield. And we've got a late flag that came in at the end of the play as Adam Mountain will pick up 3 yards on the play.
Even though there was a holding call against the Captains, one thing I liked about that wide pitch, it was basically a double lead. You see the fullback and the quarterback, Timmy Morris, coming around and to put on a lead block for this running back.
And that'll be a spot foul, and that'll mark off back right here at the 49-yard line, where it'll bring up now first down and 20 for the Captains at the Corsair 49. Tim Morris under his center, Stephen Robinette. He'll go back to pass. He gets flushed out of the pocket, and there is Adam Mountain. Mountain spins, and he's almost got enough for the first down, and a late flag as Dustin Q's in on the tackle, and I think he might have got a little bit of face mask there on Adam Mountain.
Yeah, I think that's what it was a face mask down there. That might hurt, that's just, yep, face mask. Oh, that's terrible.
Well, I tell you, he had another option out there. He had his tight end streaking down the sideline. It looked like as a Nick Reeser. He was wide open. Me and the colleague to my right here, we were jumping off our seats seeing if he was going to throw to him on that last play.
Let's take a look at that on the replay here.
Nice protection right there. Rolls out to his left. As look at there, you see Reeser wide open over the middle of the field, just dumps it off the Mountain. Nice job of shifty running work, and Hugh comes down with the.
Oh, and that's going to be not the 5-yard variety face mask. That's going to be 15. It's going to make it first down now on the Corsair 14-yard line. As Tim Morris will give it off up here to Dan Barth on the play. Barth will get back to about the line of scrimmage. John Hicks in there on the tackle for the Corsairs. It'll bring up now second down and 10 from the 14.
Well, Bob, there was nothing there as you saw Mr. Hicks got in there in a nice play by the defensive lineman.
They've got some key players on that Mott defensive line. If you look, like we said, Sisselman, every play he's been on the ground and in the
Jimmy
face.
Wagner checking into the backfield here this time for the Corsairs as they'll have Rose, the fullback. This time they'll give off to Wagner. Wagner powers himself off tackle this time. Or Kyle Walker, check that on the carry for the Corsairs. Eric Zisselman in there on the tackle for the Corsairs. They'll bring up now third down from the Corsair 13-yard line.
Okay, let's take a look at this on replay. There's Sizzleman making that stop, just coming off the line there, dropping down to his knees and just hand tackling.
Now Morris gives off to Kyle Walker deep in the backfield. Walker will try to pick up enough to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and we've got all kinds of late flags coming in there after the end of the play. We'll let the officials call it here.
Well, we got a face mask against the Captains here. It could be getting a little ugly down here in the trenches as of late. But a nice job of the Corsair defense stringing that one out along. The Captains came out in a balanced line. Looks like we got offset penalties on the play.
I think what we're seeing now, these penalties, just a little bit of the frustration.
Well, okay, well, there it was at the end of the play there. Not offsetting, but original call was against the Captains. That wasn't the case as the Corsairs pick up the face mask. It's going to bring up now third down and 2 from just about at the 7-yard line for the Corsairs. Tim Morris this time on a naked bootleg rolls out. He's got the corner. He's going to go into the end zone standing up untouched. And now the Waterford Kettering Captains have it big over the the Corsairs 33-7.
About the 5-yard line. He just kind of slows down there. And he just walks right into the end zone. He looks like he's just about jogging, coming to about the 5-6 yard line. Let's take a look at that on replay. Here he is. He fakes off. Now he runs out, rolls out. There's nobody really able to touch him. You got a blocker out front. He just slows down there and walks it easily untouched.
Well, we should get a pretty good look at this extra point from our end zone camera. Mark, I know your hands have got to be cold, but you got to stop it, buddy. There, he's got the hands in front of the lens. Aaron Quinn gets the kick up, and it's no good. Blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Well, so there, Mark, you didn't have to worry about getting those hands cold there that time.
There's the tough man up there in the booth. There you go. Give him a big wave
job
there.
there, guy. As Brian, before we get the kickoff here, you got some very dedicated volunteers. We got some volunteers out here that are working
ice cubes. They're not really volunteers.
Extremely tough conditions. Why don't you go over there?
Some of these volunteers are new and some are old, but most of these guys have been out here a long time. I don't know if they've been here quite this cold, but we got Gabe Niemeyer, Steve Campbell, Henry Barone, Joshua D. Bowen, and Mark Van Walg on camera. Mr. Larry Gavette doing a wonderful job on replay, and his lovely wife Sue Gavette on audio, and our director who's been there for many years now, Matt Latham, doing a fantastic job. And also for crew, we have BJ Ross, Josh Thornygraf, and Vicky Matthews, who I hear is one of the coldest people out there tonight. She's freezing. I guess she's got wrapped up like a mummy in traditional Halloween favor. And I guess she is just freezing down there. That's the only thing I've heard from her is, well, yeah, I'm freezing, absolutely freezing.
Well, at the end of this contest, I'll talk about some of the volunteers and some of the dedicated staff that have brought you these 8 exciting games here on Comcast TV 45 Sports, and we'll talk about some of the awards that we won down at the Philo T. Farnsworth video competition for our coverage last season. Cue this time. Q has the sidelines, and he'll bring it out. And Aaron Quinn, the kicker, will knock him out at about the 45-yard line.
I think one thing also that these people don't understand about with our volunteers is actually none of them are paid. There's only actually nobody out here that is paid, so we have to really commend them on their duties. They come out here and they do enjoy doing this. I don't know if they enjoy doing it as much as they do as a cold night tonight. Let's take a look at this run back on replay. It's a heck of a run down here. He gets a nice block up there, drops him down. He's almost out of bounds here, but then all you see is green right around here. He didn't have a chance. It was a good run back, but all you did was see green down there and stopped. It's not bad field position, but again, it looks like we have a penalty down on the field.
Again, Brian, the case for Mott, unfortunately, penalties has been the Achilles heel all night tonight. And another big play goes for Knott as it sends them back to about the 15-yard line, 14-yard line.
That's devastating. I mean, that's absolutely devastating.
I think that really has been one of the keys and why the captains lead this contest as big as they do. They've had extreme great field position here tonight. McPherson this time gets the pass from Corder, enough for a first down and pick up 12 on the play. David Rushman in on the tackle for the captains.
Well, one thing you're starting to see the captains do, I think, is they're going to start to rotate in some of their younger guys, second and third teamers in here.
Yeah, and I think they'll kind of maybe start to play some of that prevent defense that I tend to hate, as the only thing it prevents is a lot of times is a victory. Now, this time, Corder gives off to Eric Zisselman. Zisselman will pound it up off the guard in the center for the Mott Corsairs. Drive it up off of Brian Wargell and Andy Dillard in there for the Corsairs.
Check that. Todd Cameron was a new running back on and out of that play.
Looks like some of the stands and not only have cleared out, but empty, I don't know, emptied quite a bit, 30-40%. People are starting to take off after a high-scoring game.
They're cold. They want to find somewhere where it's warm. So far tonight, the only team that's been warm has been the captains, and J.R. Zapata this time will stop Brent Corder coming down along the option, and Corder will pick up perhaps 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now from the Corsair 30-yard line.
Well, they need a big play here. The Mott Corsairs on a 3rd and 5. They don't want to go 4 and out right here with 5:40 and counting left here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, so far, one of the things I've liked, they've gone to the ground attack and speeded up this process. Corder this time on the keeper, tries to string it out and pick up first down yardage, but it'll only pick up a yard on the play. It'll bring up 4th down. Ryan Jarris, the stud MVP player so far, I think, for the defense on the defensive side of the football for the Captains this year.
You're not putting in your ballot early, are you?
Well, yeah.
But anyway, it was a nice job by Juris on there, filling in from a safety position, and it looks like the Mott Corsairs unfortunately have to punt on a 4th and 4 situation.
Yeah, it's just too bad. It's hard. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back.
Jeremy Barnes back to punt for the Corsairs as Adam Mountain and Justin Newingham will be back to accept this punt. Barnes this time should be able to get a pretty good punt away, and I think I'd have Newingham and Mountain go back a little deeper as that's going to sail over the head. Coming back to accept it is Adam Mountain. Mountain tries to cut up midfield. Mountain has it up over the midfield stripe and they'll pound it down to the Corsair 49-yard line. Dustin Q in on the tackle for the Corsairs.
Good job by Mountain looking and reading where that hole was. If he would have gone inside towards the sideline, I don't think he would have got much, but he read it, cut up right straight middle field, and he made, I don't know, 10, 15 more yards by doing that.
And guys, I think we're going to have this time a favorable flag for the Waterford Mott Corsairs as there was a penalty on the punt, and the Corsairs are going to retain possession of this ball. First down as the Corsairs, I think perhaps are running into the punter that time. Roughing the kicker indeed is the call.
You see some of the diehard Mott fans out there roughing it out in this beautiful, lovely, cold weather here at Lambeau/Kettering Field.
Yeah, we've had great weather all season long for some of these Comcast TV 45 games. The Waterford Mott Corsairs now have it first down and 10 at their 45-yard line, and flags before the start of the play. It's going to back up the Corsairs 5.
Well, the only thing could be better than this cold would be possibly a snow flurry or two, or possibly some rain.
If it's going to be this cold, it might as well snow or rain, right?
Well, I don't think we get the rain this time, guys. I think it would be more than that frozen variety.
I think we wouldn't have that many volunteers here left if we were starting
I
raining.
think if Mr. Van Wallen could hear us talking about that, he wouldn't appreciate it very much.
This flag will go against the Captains, make it first down and 5, and it'll move the ball across the midfield stripe as Corder now has McPherson deep in the backfield. Pitch to McPherson. McPherson gets along on the sidelines. McPherson's got 10 yards on the play and a first down.
Nice job by McPherson, still fighting his way, even though they're down 33-7 with 4 minutes and counting left here in the third quarter. Nice job of running by Mr. McPherson.
I'll tell you, Greg McPherson, that's why he's one of the senior captains on this ball club, plays with a lot of heart out here. As you can see, the captain this time cuts it up, looks upfield, and picks up 10 on the play. McPherson this time will have Eric Zizelman in front of him, and the handoff will come up to McPherson, and McPherson won't get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a half a yard on the play.
Looks like Medina
Carlos Medina and Walker in on the tackle for the Captains.
Looks like Medina just reached up behind him, gave him a big old bear hug, and threw him down. They're not going anywhere for that.
Well, you know there's a lot of love on the field right now.
Oh, there is a lot of love. I think they're trying to hug each other and keep warm out there.
I'm surprised, John. I thought the size of the offensive line would try to wear down the defensive line here for the Captains, and that just hasn't been the case so far here tonight. Quarterback to pass. He's got Burgess, a tip. Great catch in there as Kyle Walker tipped the ball.
It's a perfect execution of what they call in practice as a tip drill. They throw the ball up, tip it off, and catch it. Let's take a look at that on replay. It's going to see, that's a perfect example of what any coach would like to see.
Jason Burgess this time.
Tips the ball, catches it, bingo. There, it's in his hand.
Good job of concentration in there by Jason Burgess that time. It'll make it now 3rd and 7 from the Captains' 37-yard line. Big key play for the Captains. They want to get something going, and laundry all over the field.
I think the tight end might have moved a little bit too early on that play.
Motion called against the Corsairs. So now instead of 3rd and 7, they'll make it 3rd down and 12 from the Captain's 43-yard line.
Well, they're going with a 3 wide receiver set on this play here.
Captain showing blitz. Quarter sets back up into the pocket. He's got Greg McPherson on the post, and McPherson will take it down to the 2-yard line.
Well, on that play, I think the biggest point of all is there was no flags to bring back that big play. A nice job by Quarter, just being very patient, very poised back there in the pocket, lofts it up for the big play man, McPherson, and now here's their chance, their opportunity to make some of this game down here on the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can cash it in.
Let's take a real quick look at the replay. Now watch the concentration of throws the ball up, now watch concentration. There's guys all around him. All he's doing, looking at the ball, cradle it, tuck it in, and he's down.
Oh, nice
concentration.
Nice
Great job by McPherson to get past Adam Mountain on the play. The Corsairs now have it 1st and goal, and McPherson, does he have enough? No, he'll get down to the 1.
Mott has also really speeded up their time from getting out of the huddle, calling the play, and getting it up to the line of scrimmage.
One of the good things that I like to see here emotionally, guys, you got Eric Zisselman and Greg McPherson, the 2 senior captains in the backfield, and it's very important for one of these 2 guys to get a score here in their final varsity contest. Look for the give right up this time to Eric Zisselman, as he'll have Zisselman, McPherson, and Q in the backfield. And Dustin Q gets the handoff, and he'll try to stretch it out to the goal line. He'll get it down to about the half-yard line. It'll make it now 3rd and goal from about inside the 1.
Well, Bob, on that play, David Rushman initially met him at near the line of scrimmage, and he tried to hop step, if you will, all the way to the goal line, but just couldn't get in for the touchdown.
3rd and goal, and I'm calling Eric Zisselman's number. Feed the stud here. He's one of your senior captains out here.
Feed the stud.
Trying to play in his last varsity contest. A pass into the Wagner on the play. Excellent coverage in there by Ryan Jarris. We'll see what all the laundry down on the field's about.
Well, you know something? It's been the Achilles heel all night for the Corsairs. A legal procedure against the MOTT Corsairs. It's going to make that from a 3rd and 1 to about a 3rd and down and from the 6-yard line. But with 56 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter, I'd like to see him possibly either go for a quick slant or possibly maybe not so much of a post corner, but go for that corner and lob it up and let him get.
Would have brought 4th down, and inside the 1, you saw Mike Berry and Al Duff. Accept the penalty, guys. We'll take 3rd and 6 here. 3rd and goal from the 6. The Waterford MOTT Corsairs come out with 56 ticks left here in this 3rd quarter. This time, Quarter on the keep, and nothing doing there. And Greg McPherson, that time, I think if Quarter could have got the pitch out here, McPherson could have got to the corner.
Kyle Walker made a big stop, number 32 out there. He's only a sophomore, granted, 6 foot 185. Made a big stop out there. I don't think he would have got. He might have got a few more yards, but he stepped up there, made a good tackle. He was scrambled up with the legs, hit him up top, and hit him hard.
Now it's going to bring up 4th down and goal from just inside the 7-yard line. We'll call it a long 6. 4th and goal. If you're a Waterford MOTT Corsair fan, you're going to want to see what happens here as Quarter this time gets wrapped up and sacked by the captains. In on the tackle is J.R. Zapata.
Well, he just had like a boa constrictor. He just grabbed the whole of that leg, and he had a stranglehold on his leg and brought him down for the big sack.
So a turnover of downs as the Corsairs can't capitalize. 11 ticks left here in this 3rd quarter.
Bob, again, it's that key penalty at a crucial moment. They get the big play, they're down at the 1-yard line, and then a penalty strikes them at a very key moment. And they turn the ball over here on the 4th down.
So now the Corsair, or the captains, will take over at their own 7-yard line. And John Hickson on the tackle. The ball carrier that time was Kyle Walker for the captains. That'll end our 3rd quarter. It's been all captains so far in this contest. They lead it 33-7. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports.
Kettering 33.
voted Michigan's best pizza by the Michigan Restaurant Association. Call and order one of Dolly's 7 delicious specialty pizzas, like the Mesquite Grilled Chicken Parmesan Pizza. Get a large round or square pizza for just $9.99. Check your mail for more Dolly's Pizza specials. At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
When you need a mortgage, you need answers. That's why so many consumers are relying on Roy Akers at American Mortgage Services for their home financing needs. Smart shoppers know how much they can afford before they shop, and then get a firm commitment.
Well, our final 12 minutes of varsity football in 1996 is just about before us here, as the Waterford Kettering Captains now have it 2nd down and 8 from just about their 10-yard line. Tim Morris, the quarterback. He's still in there. He'll give off to Barth on the play. Barth, John Hickson on the tackle, a name we've called a lot here. So far, probably one of the defensive players out here for the Corsairs tonight.
Well, the big hoss, as we alluded to all night, the big senior has stepped up his game big time here, and possibly his final game as a varsity starter for the Corsairs.
3rd and 10 as Barth will lose 2 on the play. And this time, Morris almost sacked in the backfield, but he gets it off to his tight end, Nick Reeser. Nick Reeser has a huge play out here to the 34-yard line for the Captains.
Nice block out there, too, by number 24, Adam Mountain. Great block. I think that's what opened up, let him get outside another 10 yards. He just stopped. He wasn't really put his shoulder in. He just stood there and got in the way of the other defensive man. That's all you have to do.
And Brett Quarter in there that time on the touchdown-saving tackle. This time, look at Morris coming along from the blind side, almost sacked in there for the safety, and it was Quarter coming over there.
As you can see, again, see Mountain, see that block on Mountain. It was a perfect block. He really didn't hit him all that hard, but got in his way.
Now it's a 1st down and goal. Adam Mountain this time gets the pitch back from the backfield, and he'll pick up perhaps 5 on the play.
Well, on this cool November night here, it's been all green and white tonight, as the score reads 33-7 with 10:45 and counting here.
Don't go away at the end of our contest. I know we're going to try to keep our cameraman here in the cold. This time you see it here on your screen there. That time by Adam Mountain. 2nd down and 5. The Captains have it. Little misdirection in that time to Dan Rose, as Rose will try to pile it up over the middle, pick up 3 on the play. Eric Zisselman in on the tackle for the Corsairs, as they'll bring him down. Rose, make it 3rd and 2.
About 2 yards to go for the first.
It doesn't look like Kettering's letting up at all. I think they're playing smart, keeping the ball on the ground.
Keep the ball on the ground.
Let it eat
right
that
now,
clock.
Eat the clock.
I mean, if they score, fine. If they don't, that's fine too. But if they eat that clock up, there's not going to be a chance. It's every second that ticks off, it makes less and less for Mott.
Well, this is not one of those 17 games that are going to be decided by a touchdown or less in this series. This time, Rose gets it along the sidelines, and he'll pick up 6 on the play, enough for a 1st down, and gets it right out here to the midfield stripe.
Well, Bob, I think this is about time where you start to see some of the substitutions coming on offense. Hopefully, they're continuing to keep the chains moving.
So far, the
here.
first teamers still are in this contest, and it's maybe time for Mike Berry to send in some of the extra troops out here. But you got to remember, and we talked about it, we didn't want to give Mike Berry the ammunition, but we felt that Mike Berry owed perhaps Walt Wynipko one from last year.
I think maybe one of the reasons, he might not be taking out some of his key players is also he wants to keep those seniors in as long as he possibly can without getting them hurt. I mean, this is it for some of these guys.
Yeah, this is an emotional moment, not only for us here in the broadcast booth, but for all those seniors down here as they're playing their final 9:26 left in their varsity football career.
Let's take this on the reef. Mountain just comes around the outside, picks up speed, jukes a little bit outside, makes a nice run, taking the time off the clock.
This time, Dan Rose piles it up over the middle, and he'll stretch it out, get close to the 1st down. Brent Quarter and Zisselman in on the tackle for the Corsairs.
I think Zisselman's going to come close to like 20 tackles this game. I mean, he had 8 after the first half.
We might be able to bring that up. Tackles for Eric Zisselman so far tonight. Nine tackles so far for Eric Zisselman tonight. 3rd down and 3. And the give off this time and sack back in the backfield is John Hicks. Will wrap up Dan Barth in the backfield, and that'll send the punt team out for the Captains. 8:18 left here in this contest. And that'll bring out Jason Frank to kick the ball. Frank this time gets a great kick away. And a great kick that's going to be downed at the 1 for the Captains so far. Everything tonight, guys, has gone green and white.
How worse can it get? How worse can it get from... I know what you're going to say. No, tomorrow night. No.
But my friend
tomorrow afternoon.
But my friend Brian to town. I'll give tonight to the green and white. We got a big ball game here tomorrow.
See, unfortunately, people are going to be watching this.
But there is a flag on the play, fellas. I know you guys are riled up about your Spartan Wolverine little side bet on here. Well, let's pay attention to the game for once here. We got a flag here on the sideline, and the referees are debating who it's against. It looks like it appears initially the captain players down there are saying it's against the Corsairs. And if the Corsairs had any luck tonight, it's been bad luck.
Penalties have hurt them so bad. This would be a totally different game if it wasn't for those penalties against Mott.
It's against Mott, so...
It's a familiar, that's what we've been hearing all night.
But they're still fighting, I tell you. Zisselman, guys like Zisselman, Hicks, McPherson, Corder, these guys are fighting. Wow, it's going to... I believe they're going to say it possibly was a touchback on the play here. Let's see. No, maybe it's possibly a kick over. They're going to have to kick it over again. Frankly, I'm confused.
Okay, well, John, if you're confused, and Brian and I were talking about that big Saturday contest.
Maybe we should have been paying attention to the game at hand, you think? I think somebody was saying there's
You know what?
Well,
that's going to be against the Corsairs. That's going to be enough for the first down.
Bob, I was having delusions of grandeur after tomorrow, St. Florian's 2nd win of the season. So, I mean, I know Coach Rudd's going to be going nuts right now. He's almost ended up in Bellevue Hospital after this season.
But you got to give Mark Rosinski great credit out there. First-year coach out at St. Florian. Brought their first victory in 2 years for St. Florian.
And you know what's great about it? The 2nd youngest head coach in the state of Michigan. Mad props, brother Ryan. Mad props. There's someone out there that gives you the love. I don't know who, but
I don't want to know who.
But okay, is that why this guy's sitting in the middle between us? All right, now we're getting slap happy.
You know I was in the Navy, so okay. The Kettering Captains
the
come up to the
Kettering Captains have it 2nd down and 5. They have it at the Corsair 40-yard line now, and they're keeping this drive alive. This time Morris comes down along the line.
And you know something? The referee just hit the flag right on number 71. Poor kid.
71 for
Jason Bodmer. Well, it's the referees aren't making this game go any faster with all these flags, you know.
No, and I'll tell you.
But it can't be any worse than that Pontiac Central game that I guess Roy kept on complaining about. Was it like 22 penalties or something?
We've never ripped into the officials, but that was one time that I think we must. As we're coming up now past our 9 o'clock hour, as this game is now over 2 hours and 10 minutes old. Actually, 7:06 left here in this 4th and final quarter. This time Rose will take it off tackle, and Eric Zisselman will trip him up.
Yeah,
gets back the penalty. They'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now from the Corsair 10-yard line. Good job, guys. Keep this game on the ground here as the feet, I think, have totally gone numb up here.
Looks like Kettering's put in their backup quarterback, number 16, Tony Gaddis.
Tony Gads, the junior quarterback.
On that last play, I'm not sure. I think it was Mr. Zizzleman or...
And Tony Gads at 5'10", 135 listed. This Gaddis, thank you.
You know, it doesn't matter about the size, though, Bob. It's what the guy's got inside his...
Yeah, beef up a little bit. But this is one of the things that the Kettering captains have always enjoyed out here, the big, tall quarterbacks that they've had in the past. McPherson looks to make the fair catch, and it'll be down at about the 5-yard line where the Corsairs will take over. So one offensive drive perhaps left here for the Corsairs here as they're sending out their offensive unit out here.
Well, you speak of some of the Kettering quarterbacks back in the day. I mean, Mike Grenier, outstanding quarterback, goes on to Wayne State, does a heck of a job down there. Then, of course, you had Jimmy Miller. I think everybody knows about his story, and also Dan Fellows.
Don Fellows was an excellent, had set many records out there in North Dakota at one of those Dakota State teams. McPherson in on the carry. This time McPherson will pick up a couple on the play. Pick up of perhaps 4 on the play, make it second down. We'll call it a long 6.
Well, right here, I think they're still plugging away here with 5 minutes left in this game. That's a good indication.
But you see some of the clean white jerseys that have come out here along the offensive line for the Corsairs. Zizzleman this time will get the carry. He'll perhaps pick up a yard on the play. Pick up a half a yard, make it third and 6 here.
Yeah, just under 5 minutes now to go. You know, what's got to be running through these kids' heads now, the last game of the year. You know, it's almost over, and there's possibly nothing more they can do.
It's been a heartbreaking season. The Waterford Mott Corsairs, their only victory came in week 1, and that was against Clawson. And Clawson has ripped off some impressive victories down there in Division 4, this Oakland Activities Association. And Clawson has a shot at making the state playoffs.
Incomplete. Intended for...
Well, in that last play here, you saw the quarterback come up, and he just basically lit up the receiver.
Yep.
.436 left to go. It seems to be 4th down and 6. They're going to have to punt from their end zone. Back to punt. Almost blocked. Short kick is going to head up to about almost midfield.
Looks like it's going to be down about the 48-yard line as the captains will take over on possession with 4:36 left in this game.
Well, we got to look at perhaps Comcast player of the game. I'll let you guys kind of think about that here with 4:36 remaining in this contest. We'll go down on the sidelines and try to get some comments from head coach Mike Berry and some of his offensive and defensive stars of tonight's ball game.
I've got an early nominee, Bob. All the seniors out there.
There you go.
All those seniors playing their last game.
Good call, John. I like it.
Now you see some of the youngsters brought up from JV out there on the field right now.
Getting some PT, some valuable playing time. And a give off the middle, and this goes well deep into our roster, so...
What these JV players need to do, this is excellent. What an honor to become up, even if this is the last game and maybe you're down or whatever, that you're winning by a lot. This is when the JV players need to impress the coach for next year. They have to start thinking about next year.
Exactly.
Make that big play, show your coach you can knock somebody's helmet off, and then you're going to get a starting position next year.
Yeah, it starts right here tonight against your top rival, the Big Dogs, Waterford Mott here. Whoa, little delay there. The quarterback just sat down there. I think he was shocked that they got a mix-up on the snap on that last play, I assume. But there we go, the legal procedure on the call. But You know, it's been a down year for both the captains and the Corsairs here. The only team really here in the Pontiac Waterford area that had any success really was the Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes Lakers. And again, I mentioned earlier, just a heartbreaking loss.
They moved up in that Catholic League. They moved up to C Division, and they even moved up in class, up into the C class.
Well,
I guess next year they're going to go back down to double DD. So
exactly, they've been in the C Division for a while, but like you said, they're going back to double D, and they should make the state playoffs next year. A very young team that Mike Boyd will field next year.
Down by the center of the line, the drum section with 2 administrators.
I don't think you heard that from our public address announcer, but he gave credit to some of the band members out there and on the tackle.
Were they out there tackling or no?
Well,
I mean, they might as well.
At this time in this telecast, we'd like to thank some of our freezing volunteers out there. Some of the crew, we got Gabe Wilmeyer.
I'll go over these here for you.
I can't read too well.
I'd like to personally thank our great director out here. This is going to bring up a personal foul call to make a first down for the captains. But many kudos to our young director out here, Matt Latham. Matt was one of our high school interns out here for 2 years. He's directed our high school football games out here for 3 years now, and the kid's only 20 years old. Does a great job. So I'd like to thank down in the truck Larry Gavette and his wife Sue Gavette, who came on board and has done some great job providing all the audio crunches and some of the band that you've heard out here at the halftime, and Larry handling all the videotape. I'd like to thank Mark Van Walligen and Joshua Bowren for all their work in Bryantown out there this season in the bucket camera. An excellent job by Gabe Niemeyer and Steve Campbell on the handheld along the sidelines all season long. Henry Barron's done a great job working up the top camera, and all of our volunteers that have come out and supported our telecast throughout this 1996 varsity football season, as we brought you 8 exciting varsity football games this year.
Neat little thing about Gabe Niemeyer. He's actually one of our students there at the Comcast internship club. Right now you see Mr. Henry Barron freezing, I'm sure. But he looks like he's got a warm park on. But I guess that's what he likes to call that area right there is the wind tunnel, because all you get is the wind coming right down off this, right below us, and he freezes.
Well, also, many thanks to our voice of Comcast TV 45 Sports, not in the broadcast booth though tonight, Roy Akers. Does an excellent job for us here out at Comcast TV 45. Also like to thank John Schemmel for coming on board and helping us with some of the spotting duties and some of the color work out here this season.
Gabe Niemeyer on the nice tackle there. He was right in front of me. All he had to do was wait for the ball to drop down, broke down, and
Gabe was in on the tackle?
I was trying to Justin Newenham, sorry. Justin Newenham, number 1 for.
Well, remember, fans, if you're a big fan of professional wrestling on Friday nights coming up here, you can tune into Motor City Mayhem. There's a cameraman up there. Nice job, buddy. But you can tune in and watch Motor City Mayhem to see some of the best athletes in the world.
Now that Hamtramck St. Florian's out of this football, can we see some new shows there?
Oh yeah,
Luscious, John.
Yeah, we'll be. I'm sure we'll take our sweet time in providing you the best in entertainment, or sports.
Coming up, looking at Comcast, coming up during the winter months, we'll be showing varsity boys basketball, girls volleyball. We'll also be having ice fishing. No, we won't be covering ice fishing, Brian. We've seen that tonight. But one of the things I'm excited about is they've put in the gymnastic program over here at Waterford. And so we'll be bringing some of those telecasts and trying to do some gymnastics.
What about bowling?
Bowling? We're still working on that one. But also some wrestling, too. Some wrestling.
Wrestling. We got wrestling, too. Friday nights.
We've got it on Comcast TV 45 Sports. We won't say the real stuff.
Well, it is real.
1:35 left here in this 1996 varsity football season as Brent Corder has Jason Burgess for a big pass down here. He'll take it over the midfield stripe and pile it down to about the 43-yard line of the Captains. So no quit here, left here. As Jason Burgess will pick up 19 yards. You see it there on your television screen. Brent Quarter, the quarterback, has gone all way here. Quarter steps up in his pocket, and he's got Burgess down the middle, and Burgess, was that a complete? No.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
Knocked down there by one of the junior varsity players that we don't have on our roster.
I believe Nate Warren was in there on the stop. Big hit on the play.
Big hit. That's what knocked the ball out right there. If you can see, take a look at this on replay. Here comes Nate Warren. I believe it's number 25, Nate Warren. Boom, knocks the ball out. Yeah, it is number 25.
Just a nice hit separating the ball from the man.
Great look from our end zone camera. Thank you, Mark, as that was well in focus all the way. I'll give you a little credit there. Zizelman with one of his final carries as the Corsair senior. And we've got the clock down now under a minute as Coach Mike Berry, I think, got the old, I don't know if they gave him
the
a
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Oh, that's cold tonight. I don't know.
And, you know, we're sitting up here in our electric VIP suite booth. I mean, he's got to be freezing. I think he's about to kill his kids.
I hope Mike sticks around long enough so that we can get him on our post-game show.
I'm sure icicles will be forming soon on Mr. Berry.
Well, the Waterford Kettering captains will go to 4-5, so they've turned it around when reeled off. 3 straight wins so far to end this season.
But I tell you what, this is something for next year for the Corsairs they can think about. They're going to be out for revenge because this contest got away from them earlier, and I'd still say it was that big penalty off of on McPherson's big play run that was the turning point of this game.
Yeah, because I think that would have pulled the game back to within about 7, and anything could have came out of it. 33-7 is our game score.
Looks like we have got a Hawaiian dancers out there in the right-hand corner there on the track.
Oh, that's the color guard as the Waterford Mott Corsair Marching Band will take the field out here at the end of this game. And that's their color guard out there, and they've got to be freezing.
That's insane.
Why? I would wear shorts out here. I think it's nice.
Yeah.
Bermudas.
30 seconds left here in this contest, and pass complete for Burgess. He'll pick up another first down. And the clock will temporarily stop until they set the chains. And the Corsairs will call timeout. Let's take a timeout. You're watching Comcast TV 45 Sports. We'll be back right after this.
When the TV goes on in Mr. Jones' class, I know it's going to be interesting.
We see places we wouldn't normally be able to see and meet people in history.
Okay, let's talk about Cable in the Classroom is a powerful tool. More than 30 cable networks design programs specifically for the classroom. No commercials, no viewing requirements. I'm in control. You'll research a region and then represent...
We usually have to do a report, but it's interesting, so it's always really fun. Distinguished members of the Circle of Nations.
Cable is giving us a fantastic free service. It's up to us to use it.
All right, welcome back. We have 24 seconds to go in the last quarter here. Waterford Kettering has the lead at 33 and Mott with 7. We're going to have probably the final play here. The king of ceremonies, the master of all masters, has left us. Bob Montgomery is going to head down to the field now.
The big man's starting to drift his way down there for the post-game show here for Comcast Cable, and that ball was dropped by number 90 of the Waterford Mott Corsairs on the play. The big tight end. But we do have another flag on the field. The pass interference against the Waterford Kettering captains.
And that seems to be the way this game's gone all night. Penalties, and those flags have come out more than, I mean, sure it's not as the game you guys were talking about earlier, but it seems like, if not a lot, devastating penalties.
Yeah, it's been a very crucial game for the Waterford Mott Corsairs thus far. I mean, we've said it like too many times. I mean, it's like a broken record. Penalties at crucial times have killed the Mott Corsairs. This should be one of the final plays of the game here with 20 seconds left. Let's see if Mott Corsairs can punch it in here. Well, Cornier's trying. He's still fighting out there in the pocket. He almost gets wrapped up by number 76. We don't have him on our roster, I do not believe. I think he's one of the freshmen they brought up. But there's another flag on the play there, Brian, with 9 seconds left here in the game.
Flags all over the field.
Well, I'm sure it's been a very cold afternoon down there, and Bob Montgomery, he's only wearing a sweater down there. He's going to give us some post-game interviews with the coach, Mike Berry, and hopefully with a couple of the seniors down there for the Waterford Kettering captains.
He was trying to talk you to go down there, John. You said,
Yeah.
no, I'm afraid not, Bob.
I'm too smart to go down there in this weather. But
once again, we want to thank all our volunteers who came out tonight. Our director, Matt Latham, Mr. Larry Gavette and Sue Gavette in the truck, and also Gabe Niemeyer on camera, BJ Ross on crew, Mr. Joshua D. Bowen, Mark Van Walligan on the camera doing a fantastic job, Steve Campbell, Henry Barron, and Vicki Matthews, who I'm sure, if she is still down there, is quite cold. Thanks again to all our volunteers. This could not be done without you. The clock ticks down now, 5 seconds left, 4, and this game looks to be wrapped up, John.
Well, they do score on the final play of the game for the Mott Corsairs, which is a good thing for the Corsairs. They close on a good note to make it 33-13 on the play. Just a little quarterback keeper on that last play of the game. I'm sure, well, there is 1 second left. I'll do the extra point thing, and I'm sure we'll kick it down to Bob Montgomery for some post-game interviews. But it's been a pleasure working with you tonight, Brian Town, for his first time, I believe, up here in the luxury VIP suite here.
Probably anybody watching this probably saying, God, it's his first time. I just can't believe it. Because he did. And that's good. It's going to make the score 33-14 with 1 second still left on the clock. That gives Mott a ray of hope, I guess, for next year.
Well, it's good. At least they go out with something positive here. It is 33-14 here with 1 second left, but it's good that they scored on the one-play game. I think it could have been a lot closer game than it has been. It's just, like we've said, like over and over, it's just been penalties at crucial times all night.
I agree. I think not only should we be appreciative of the seniors that are coming out tonight and playing their hearts out tonight, but I think both teams as a whole, these kids go after school, have a hard day of school, they practice. The 2 days, you know how bad two days are in the summertime.
Yeah.
It's not an easy time, and I don't know if people really realize what these kids do every night to put on a football. Whether they have a 0-9 season or 3, I think it doesn't matter. I think really the kids should be congratulated on all levels.
Exactly. It's all about sacrifice, as you've just said about it. Sacrifice, and it takes a lot of heart for these kids. It's just too bad that they didn't really have too much of a successful season for both these clubs for their seniors, but at least they'll go out for the Kettering captains in their case on a positive note. Well, here's the final play of the season for 1996. A little squib kick up here to number 22 of the captains.
It looked like he could have ran that a little bit farther if he wanted to.
He could have, but that'll do it, Brian, for everyone down there on the field here. Kettering captains, it's been a green and white day here on November the 1st. Final score 33-14. Let's kick it down to Bob Montgomery for some post-game thoughts.
Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
Dolly's Pizza, voted Michigan's best pizza by the Michigan Restaurant Association. Call and order one of Dolly's 7 delicious specialty pizzas, like the Mesquite Grilled Chicken Parmesan Pizza. Get a large round or square pizza for just $9.99. Check your mail for more Dolly's Pizza specials. At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
At Dolly's Pizza, we know what you like.
The Waterford Mott marching band. Appalachian Spring.
Joining me now on our post-game show here are the 3 senior captains for the Waterford Kettering Captains, playing in their final ball game of their varsity season. Tim Morris, great job of quarterbacking this ball club this year. Dan Rose, one of the fine running backs, and along the offensive and defensive line, Dave McGugan. Guys, it's emotional for you right now, but a great way to end this season as you ripped off 3 straight wins, and it's going to give now your teammates something to build on for next year. Tim, describe the season.
Well, I had higher expectations for our season, but our team came out. We had some tough losses. We played together, and we put it together at the end of the season. We played like I know we could, and I'm so proud of all our players. We had a great year.
And Dan, I know we had you on against when you went over to Pontiac Central, and the emotion here of defeating the Corsairs, and I know you guys took it on the chin last year against these guys. You had them real close. Talk about this ball game here tonight.
Well, I've been waiting an entire year for this ball game every single day. I thought about this game, not a day went by. I look forward to this game. Now I can say we finally beat the Corsairs.
And Dave McGugan, you did a great job offensively and defensively on the line this year. I know we had you on early on in one of the first games that we did out here. Describe the season for you.
It was long, hard, and I wish we would have won more games.
Well, still, at 4-5, you guys got to feel a lot better, you know, as you ended this season here. Let's bring in your head coach, Coach Barry. Coach Barry. Good job of ripping off those last 3 straight wins out here at the end of the season here. As now, and I heard some of your coaches talking about it, it's a great way to start some of the juniors, some of your seniors here now can take it over to the junior ranks, and it's a great thing to build on for next year.
Certainly, yeah, we're proud of the fact of the way we finished. We finished strong. We beat 3 teams soundly, and that's a great way to finish for us.
Describe the victory here tonight. I know it's got to be one that last year we talked about it. We showed it in the pregame. Yeah. It came down to, it was a 1-point ball game, very close. I know this was pretty sweet for you. It had to have been.
Yeah, you know, there's a couple things that I want to mention.
We'll let the band go by here.
All right. Kick it in. There you go. You got it.
As the Waterford MOTT Corsairs marching band and color guard come off the field here, as they complete this post-game performance out here, we talked about how sweet this victory was here.
You know, it's always nice to beat your crosstown rivals, but the problems that we have mixed emotions about the last game of the year. It's our seniors' last game, and they want to finish strong, so we're happy about the W. But on the other hand, we got seniors over here crying. So,
well, we talked about it. Who was going to be our Comcast TV 45 players of the games? Yeah. It was the entire seniors that played their final ball game out here tonight.
They did a nice job.
And one of the things that I really liked, Coach, you took your seniors, you let them go down through the line, but you took a moment there with your seniors, shook each one's hand, and gave them a little word
We
of
have a tradition, and we're trying to keep it our senior send-off, and unfortunately ran into the band a little bit, but it's our field.
Yeah, it was a great victory for you. Coach, good luck and everything. And next year, we hope to provide just the excellent coverage that we've given you.
You guys done a great
so
job.
Far. It's emotional for us, too, because we love doing the football games out here, and it's something that we do, I think, extremely well here on Comcast.
I want to give credit to the MOTT kids who gave their heart out there. I mean, you know, sometimes you're playing a tough ball game and it doesn't work out for you, or you're outmatched, whatever the situation is. You know, they came here and played hard, too. I want to give some credit to them.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get in with the rest of your seniors. Thanks, guys. Great season. And we'll be talking to you.
I'd like to thank one more thing. I'd like to thank the juniors for playing a hell of a game for us.
All right. There they go. The Waterford Kettering captains are victorious in their final game of the season. I'm Bob Montgomery. For all of our Comcast TV 45 staff members and volunteers for a great job this season, 1996. We've got some excellent sports still to come here on the high schools, as we'll be doing the winter sports. But until then, thanks for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this season. Thank you, and good night.